Whoa, fuck. Browns and Jags just traded.
Oh, that means the Jaguars are going to get.
What is going on, everybody? Thank you guys for sticking with us, for rocking with us. Just want to make sure everybody can hear me right now. We had some major technical difficulties for the past half hour, but we are opening up the show with breaking news. The Jacksonville Jaguars have just moved in to the number 2 slot, trading with the Browns. So it's the number 2 overall, a 4th rounder, 104, and a 6th rounder. And the Jaguars get the number 5, a 2nd round pick, a 4th round pick, and next year's 1st round pick. Absolute.
Oh, next year's first too. I didn't realize that.
Absolute bombshell just dropped. This could be exciting. This is going to shake things up. The Jacksonville Jaguars are now on the clock. This is crazy. We're trying to keep up with everything here. So appreciate everybody's support for tuning in right now. Thank you guys so much. I'll get to the comments in a sec here. Just wanted to bring it up. So Fonz, let's transition here really quickly.
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on, Fonz? How you doing, buddy?
Good. You look good. We're all looking good here. Now, listen, technical things, but listen, it's fine. It's okay. Listen, we knew who the number 1 pick was going to be anyway, so it's
Cam
not like
Ward.
we were like, wait, really? I thought it was Cam Scatterbo. I'm just kidding. But we knew what was going to happen. So but we came in at the good time here. Honestly, that's a haul. I didn't expect the Jaguars to do that if we're assuming what's going to happen with number 2, right? I think we kind of know where they're going to go with here. If they do Travis Hunter, which I think would make sense at the number 2 spot, but I didn't think the Jaguars would go up and get him. And now that I'm thinking about it, like that'd be good. That'd be fun offense to have him on there, I would say, right? I mean, playing both sides of the ball, cornerback and receiver, with that offense in Jacksonville, with Trevor Lawrence gives them a nice target here, with Travis Etienne also. They got a pretty solid offense, I gotta say, on it, if this potentially goes the case. They can also, you never know what's going to officially happen yet, but Kevin, this is the draft. We never know what's going to happen here. This is a lot of fun. We knew what was going to happen. Number one, we essentially kind of know what's going to happen with number two at ETN and Abdul Carter potentially at number three. So like the top three could be potentially set, but again,
who's the pick in for the Jags?
Oh, the pick is in. The pick is in, everybody. 1 second, I'll get to the comments here, but the pick is in. The Jacksonville Jaguars have selected Colorado wide receiver cornerback Travis Hunter with the number 2 pick.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we knew that.
We kind of knew that was going to happen.
But him on the Jaguars, though, I mean, woo-wee. That is going to be a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. Who is going to get a Travis Hunter Jaguars throwback jersey? But we've talked about this. Me, Kevin, Kearns. I know Kearns was talking about it too. We had Malik on a few weeks ago. Like, what's going to happen on both sides of the ball? Is he going to play the full, like, mentally, physically? Like, can he do it? And you said Kearns, skill-wise, he can do it. And I agree with you 100%. Like, skill-wise, there's no question. It gets to the physical point, like, can he physically do it for 17 games a season? And I said also, I added the fact here, can he mentally do it? Because, again, skill-wise, no doubt about it. But, one play, if he's going out now in Jacksonville, against the Texans, playing against Houston, he's guarding against Derek Stingley and gets covered here. And the next drive, he has to go up against Tank Dell, like, for an example here. So, can he mentally do that? There's a good chance he could do it. I mean, listen, he did it and won the Heisman in college football. So it's just that's going to be the big hurdle here. But the Jaguars, they liked him. They made the big risk in getting him. So it's going to be interesting to see. We'll see how long he can do it. I'll ask Kevin and Kearns this, though. Like, where's he going to start? Is he going to start at wide receiver and then go to corner? Is he going to start at corner and then go to wide receiver? That's kind of what I would have. Like, that's my question.
Really, it's super interesting to see what they're going to do. I feel like you start with T-Law there. I feel like you draft him as a weapon for T-Law, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, primarily as a weapon for T-Law. Then you say, like, okay, here you go. Especially with all the, like, the stuff that's been surrounding T-Law and, like, kind of the criticism that's been around with him and how, like, people feel like he hasn't been performing the way that he's supposed to be performing, and he's kind of gone downhill from when he started in the league. And like, people are kind of bringing up that, is he overrated? Is he actually kind of a bust now versus is he this, future franchise quarterback we all thought he was going to be for the Jacksonville Jaguars? So I feel like you kind of need to start him as a wide receiver.
No, I agree, especially because, like, I forgot the contract that Lawrence signed, but Trevor signed a big time extension not too long ago. And there's been, you just said it too, there's been talks like, can he lead Jacksonville to playoff wins? Can he lead this team? He had one good year a few years ago, but this past season really wasn't his best. And what do you want to do to build around your franchise guy? You got to give him some weapons. And I think, out of all the prospects heading to this draft, Travis Hunter, I would say, is a clear-cut number one, like, prospect-wise. Positionless. Literally positionless, because he can play anywhere across the field, too. And this is the defense. Jaguars is a young defense, pretty solid. And then eventually, if he goes to the cornerback spot, maybe at some point in the season, that's going to help the secondary a lot, too. So I like this move for Jacksonville. I didn't honestly expect them to trade up. I thought Cleveland was going to stick with number 2, because that's another team, Kearns, Cleveland, that needs some help there too on both sides of the ball and needs that star power, and that would have definitely helped them out too. But Cleveland is stockpiling picks. They got a bunch of picks from Jacksonville and next year's first. They're primed to maybe take a quarterback in this draft, or probably wait until next year. So it's going to be interesting to see what Cleveland does now, because I didn't expect them to do it, but they just stockpiled a bunch of picks. They probably weren't loving Travis Hunter.
Right.
They probably have a bunch of other
needs.
The
other thing with Cleveland too is they need so much, like a team like Jacksonville, who kind of already has. I mean, obviously, like I just said, that there's kind of those question marks that are being brought about T-Law at this point, but they still have their guy. Cleveland is so far away from being anything right now. Like, they don't have any, like, cornerstone pieces outside of Myles Garrett, who now, obviously there was that whole thing with him this offseason about, is he going to get traded?
Yeah.
Is he going to go somewhere else and move to an actual, like, contender, or is he just going to stay in Cleveland and sort of rot there for the rest of his career?
Yeah, that's the Sean Watson thing and the Cleveland thing. Again, a bunch of other needs outside of just quarterback you want to build around there too. You
I
want
feel
to
like it's
throw.
good for them to go, and they moved down. They still have 5. Like it's not like obviously they got rid
That's
of
true.
but they
That's
still
true.
have a high pick this draft, and they have more capital to build into the future now.
No, you're right. It's not like they went. It's not like they were in the 20s per se, and they moved up here. Like they're still 2 slots back, and they got more picks, and they got Jacksonville's next year's first, where they may or may not be good. Who knows? But they would still be a good, valuable first round pick. So they can. That's honestly, it's a win-win, and you could still get somebody very valuable at number 5. Now we'll see if they do quarterback. Who knows too? But it's interesting to see. Now we got the Giants coming up, I believe, at number 3. I don't know if the pick has been officially in yet, too, but I think we kind of know Kearns and Kevin. I know Kevin's setting up stuff behind the scenes, so Kevin is always doing a great job. I think we kind of know what Giants would go at number 3. I would probably think it'd be Abdul Carter to help out that defensive line because, he's been like the number 1 ranked like defensive player overall and one of the best athletes heading into the draft. So, again, it's like we said, the top 3, it's been falling in the first 2 so far outside of the team that was selected. So we'll see what happens with number 3 officially.
I agree. I'd be kind of shocked. I mean, hey, I would not be mad if we didn't see Abdul Carter get picked here. I'm just saying, if he falls down 1 more spot, I'd be pretty happy with that.
Why is that? Why is that? Why?
I can't really put my finger on it. I just think 1 more spot would be a good place for him.
Now, why is that?
I don't know. Maybe he looks, maybe he likes some cold weather. Maybe he likes, being a little bit south of New York. Or I guess they play down there.
He did play at Penn State, so there's some cold weather over there.
State, maybe he likes being a Patriot. Maybe he, wants to play for, a team that's won something. Maybe he wants to play with Drake May. I don't know.
Hold on, I think we have a guest, and I think it's a special guest.
Oh,
sorry
boy.
to cut you off there, Kernsey. We have a special guest here. We have our in-house Giants fan joining us.
Well deserved.
Tyrell Stewart, a man that you guys have not seen in such a long time.
It's been a very long time. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, bro. You sound great.
All right, cool. Joining live from the Giants locker room. I'm excited for the pick.
Oh, pick is in. Tyrell, pick is in.
I'm sad that it's not going to be Travis Hunter, but I'm okay with Abdul Carter.
Pick is in, everybody. Tyrell in-house. The New York Giants have selected Penn State defensive end Abdul Carter.
Honestly, it's the only thing that made sense. I was nervous about them taking Shedeur.
Right.
I don't know if there's like this. When I watch Shedeur, it's like, you know what? Would I be okay with taking him if we came back into the first round at some point? Yeah. Did I want to take him 3rd overall and pass up on either Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter? I didn't. So I feel like this was obviously the right move for us. And I'm kind of excited, honestly. I feel like, I don't want them to trade Kayvon Thibodeau. I know people are talking about that. I feel like if we can get Kayvon and have Abdul and then have Brian Burns and have Dex, you can put pretty much anyone next to Dex at that point, and you guys have a pretty scary defensive line. And that was always how we got to Super Bowls. You know what I mean? That's how we got to where we wanted to be. I'm kind of hoping that we do at some point trade up and try and get our quarterback of the future if they feel like they're convicted enough to kind of do that in this draft. I don't know what the rest of the draft kind of looks like, but at least they didn't make that mistake. I mean, in my opinion, that mistake of taking Shedeur this kind of high. Now I'm kind of curious where he's going to go, when he's going to go. With that Browns trade, I'm wondering if they think that they can get him later. And that's why they did it.
Beats just followed.
I think that Abdul Carter pick for Giants is great.
What is
subscribing to us on Twitch?
Hey, that's my guy. Thanks, Danny.
I didn't hear what you said.
We just got a new follower on Twitch. Sorry.
Oh, nice.
I'm on my place right now.
Fitz is a man of many talents, but I think Abdul Carter on that Giants defensive line is absolutely going to be scary. And I hope they keep Kayvon Thibodeau with Dexter Lawrence. That's a pretty solid defensive line. You said it. The Giants past couple of Super Bowls. Well, what do they have? An elite defensive line and an elite defense. So that's kind of a good way to start building it up. I think Abdul Carter, excellent pick there. And I didn't think they were going to go Shedeur because they do have Jameis now and Russell. So this is a very good pick for the Giants. A safe pick and a really good one.
I could have, like I said, I could have seen them doing something different because I know how the Giants work. But at the same time, I'm very happy that we didn't kind of go that route or panic and just take that player. Like I said, I'm kind of hoping that in my head, personally, I would love for Shador to kind of slide a little bit and see if we can't get him in the later end of the first round. I'd be okay with that there. But at 3, it's like, dude, when you're in the top 3 and we're there consistently, we kind of have to pick the best player available. You know what I mean? Like you can't just sit there and pray and then you take Shador, right? And then Abdul becomes a Hall of Famer or even a Pro Bowler. Then Shador is not playing next year or this year, and then he plays next year, and then he's not great. And now we're 2 years behind the 8 ball as far as our rebuild. So
but it's not like you guys are in like desperate need for that quarterback, right?
Right.
You don't need him this season. Like you could get him next season if necessary. Like you don't need to
that's
pick
what
him
made me
up
happy
and get
too.
a starter to go and be that guy to start this season. You have
they set us up to not have to need a quarterback, which was great because again, if we didn't sign Russ and we didn't sign Jameis, I promise you they're taking Shador here, which and that's more of a panic than it is anything else. So I'm kind of excited. Right now I'm kind of just curious as far as like what goes on past this. Like I think for the Pats, you guys are gonna take a tackle because you guys just want to protect him, and there's no really wide receiver. I know it's boring. It's not sexy. It's not fun. I've been there for years, right? Like we drafted Andrew Thomas. We drafted freaking Evan Neal, bust.
But it's not even about the fact of like us drafting a tackle. It's not about that. It's about the fact of just personally, Campbell, his arms, like I'm not one to like measurables and things like that and combine stuff and be like, oh wow, don't draft this guy. But I feel like with tackle, you need to have that length and that reach, and I just feel like Campbell doesn't have that. And he's talented, don't get me wrong, but here at 4, I feel like he's more of a guard than he is of a tackle, and that's why I say boo.
How do you guys feel about what you guys would how you guys analyze our linemen as a whole? How do you guys feel about that? Like, do you feel like they'd be able to kind of attest? I know you need it, but like, do you think that your new regime would have a good idea of how to draft them? Like, based off of what he did in Tennessee, did he do a good job of drafting linemen? Because I don't remember. I know his defense. He's defense oriented.
I mean, they always had a solid line. Derrick Henry was always able to get some big holes. Ryan Tannehill wasn't, one of the most sacked guys. As personnel, they had Taylor Lewan there for a little bit. They had a couple other linemen during his tenure. I trust them.
It wasn't big time names.
A wide receiver. Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, granted, offensive linemen don't have big time names, but like they always had consistent, solid offensive lines when Vrabel was there down in Tennessee.
Right.
So they could definitely do that. About Will Campbell, Armand Menabu from Missouri, they can do one if they want to go the tackle route or whatever too. So they have. I think they want to build in the trenches, definitely protect their guy in Drake May. So I would probably say they're go.
Pick Campbell, is in. Menabu. The pick is in.
I could be completely wrong too. I could be completely wrong. I have no idea what it is.
The Patriots have selected offensive tackle Will Campbell from LSU.
It's crazy because everyone said how crazy this draft was going to be, and it's literally just gone exactly how everyone thought.
We know. I mean,
through 4 picks.
I mean, we knew the top 3. Like I said it before, Tyrell, you joined. I said we knew the top 3 was going to be Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter. And 4, we kind of was thinking maybe Will Campbell, somebody else. But this kind of helps out with the Patriots. You want help with that offensive line. This is a Mike Vrabel pick in a nutshell, right?
It's not sexy, it's not fun, but it gets the job done. Hopefully, he can protect the franchise quarterback you guys just drafted. That's really what it kind of comes down to,
I mean, if he comes in, he's great. I would never complain. Like, if it's a good tackle, I love the pick. If it's a good tackle, it's just I know I trust it. They must feel comfortable with it.
Yeah,
they must
feel
true. Comfortable with
it. I mean, do you guys feel like going into the draft, that was there like bigger needs for you guys, or as Pats fans, were there bigger needs for you, or are you kind of happy?
I mean, no, I think we addressed everything. I actually think tackle was the only thing that we still really needed.
Okay, and what about so if you would have gotten Travis or Abdul, would you have been happier?
Yes. Oh yeah, 100%. And I think you just want me to say that because you're a jerk.
All right. Part of me did want to hear you say that. Yes. The other part of me did want to just know if you guys felt that way or the consensus, you know what I'm saying? Because our pick has been top 3, right? So I knew that we were going to get one of those 3 players, I felt like. So for you guys, I know you guys were kind of maybe hoping for one of them to drop or fall, or hope that we would kind of take Shador so they, one of them fell into your lap. So I wasn't sure if that's exactly how you felt or if that was just my own thoughts on it,
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm all about securing Drake May and making sure he stays in his 2 feet. I think that's obviously a priority. Like I said, I love the offensive tackle pick. I just don't know if Campbell was the dude. And I guess we'll see. Because if he was, phenomenal. I'll eat my words. I'm happy about it.
Right.
No doubt about that. But
Is he
if
a left or
isn't,
right tackle? Do you
He's
know?
a left tackle, but it's his reach.
Okay.
A guy hasn't made a Pro Bowl with that same arm length as like the 60s.
Wait, oh yeah, no, I hear that. Oh, this link is not working. Okay, cool. I'm gonna try it differently.
I would have said if you could have went with Armand Menabu, but he's also more playing right tackle.
Yeah,
for
he
Missouri.
played right tackle, exactly.
Yeah.
He never played a snap at left tackle, so it's like, is that also really the move?
But that's but he's like a raw talent. He has potential to kind of move around too, because like he still could do. He has that like the raw like power, the talent wise, he could eventually do that. But it would be a little bit more of a transition. I think New England just wanted to go with the guy off the bat, plays left tackle, don't have to worry about like moving him over from position to position. So it gives him a chance here. And again, this is a perfect kind of guy for Vrabel. The reach could be a concern, but that's what you got to do here with you take the risk, Kevin. That's what you got to do in this draft.
Want to get to the comments here. I appreciate everyone who's been tuning in and watching us. Thank you guys so much. We've had a ton of technical difficulties. We've been all over the place. So appreciate everyone for your patience, but just want to shout out everyone in the comments here. Josh Smith said hi on Facebook. What's going on, Josh? My boy Billy Grant. What's going on, Billy? Gabe said we scared him. Malik said, I'm just here to laugh at the Pats' demise. Yeah. Robbie wanted Genty, but obviously, we went with Campbell, which, hey, if that's the pick, and if he's a good tackle, like that's all I care about is if the reach isn't a problem and they were comfortable with it and I trust them, then I'm all for the tackle pick. I think the tackle pick is a great pick. I think it's a smart pick. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Robbie said acquire established NFL lineman, not throw a rookie to the Wolves to lead the pack as a pup. I mean, I like Moses. We brought in Bradbury. I think we have a couple of guys. Michael Awenu has always been a good piece there. So I don't think it's necessarily the worst thing. For me, it's just the reach. Is that really a big issue, or is that not the issue? So just to kind of go through here, everyone, we have the draft order here on the screen right now. We're already at pick 5. It's not the Jags, the Browns, because of the trade that was acquired. Then we have Vegas, the Jets, the Panthers, the Saints, and the Bears. So obviously the Browns traded back. What do you guys think could be the move here? Could it be Genty? Could they?
I'm thinking Genty, bro. I'm thinking it's like either that or Shador, right? Either they had some intel and they're like, you know what, we do like Shador,
but we can get more out of it.
We can literally get a first-round pick and not have to worry about taking him here because no one else is going to take him. Then you know what? They outsmarted a lot of people if they did that. Honestly,
that's a good point. But you know what is Cleveland needs a lot of help with a lot of things too, like offensive line, pass rusher, defensive tackle, a second. Right. Like they need help. So you can go anywhere here. I mean, I go back to the tackle spot, Jedrick Wills, that he just left for free agency. I don't think he signed anywhere yet. So they can go on Menabu. You said Shador, they can do that.
The pick is in. Also. Pick is in.
I could be wrong completely.
And the Cleveland Browns have selected Michigan defensive tackle Mason Graham.
That interesting. Okay, that they also needed some help more on the.
You know what?
Edge rusher.
It makes a ton of sense.
I said edge rusher, but Cleveland could also use a nice defensive tackle. Mason Graham. That's a big dude, 6'3".
People were saying that Mason Graham was like one of those top tier talents, right? And it really comes down to one team really believing in them at that point. Mm-hmm. But it's crazy that they're able to drop from 2, still get probably someone they probably had high on their board, get a first-round pick for next year. They're loading up to get their quarterback next year, right? They clearly
they're going to do that.
Either don't believe in this year, or you know what? They have another second-round pick now, a high-end second-round pick, another third-round pick for this year, and a first for next year. So it's like, you know what? Even if they didn't want to jump back up this year to get their quarterback later in the draft, they did it. You know what I mean? So honestly, well done. I'm kind of jelly, but also at the same time, I'd rather have a dual card.
No, but Mason Graham is 6'3", 296. This guy is a big dude and a high motor. This is perfect.
Fonz, tell us about Mason Graham.
Mason Graham, big dude, high motor, was talking about like he has good feet for a defensive tackle, especially for a big guy there in Michigan, was a leader on that defensive team for a couple of years, 2-time All-American. This is very good for Cleveland. They kind of want to help out that defense, which again has a lot of holes now with a lot of guys leaving and just Cleveland just being a mess this past season. This definitely helps as a nice building block for Cleveland. This is a good spot. I didn't expect them to go this route, but now looking at it, I'm kind of liking this pick for them.
I mean, it makes logical sense based off their needs. They have a ton of holes. At the end of the day, the Browns have a ton of holes, which is why they traded back from 2, right?
Yeah.
If you're not going to take your quarterback there, and Travis Hunter, as good as he doesn't super help what you guys have going on because you don't even have a quarterback to throw to him.
Yeah. And I think out of all the positions too, like again, they all need help everywhere, but receiver and cornerback, they're okay at, like they have Jerry Jeudy, they have Denzel Ward. They could still use some help there, but there's more bigger needs there than say those two positions.
A ton of bigger needs. A ton of bigger needs.
Couple of comments here that we sorry.
Dude,
oh my god!
I thought we were gonna breeze over that.
You know what?
I was trying. It's an important conversation.
On the bright side, there's a lot of people in this room, and only one of us are allowed to have that slip. So,
I mean, look.
Man, couple of comments here.
I thought I was the one that heard it, to be honest. And I was gonna
my boy William Keck. Browns will manage to do Browns things. They make poor choices literally my entire life. I don't know. That was a good pick. I know you commented beforehand. He commented before.
Again, it wasn't a bad selection, but like, it was shocking. But this is like, I think Cleveland's got a good guy here in the defensive line. Really,
I agree, but it's like, it's hard as a fan, right? If I'm a fan of the team, right? If the Giants right now were at 2, and they could have taken Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, and I watched them trade back, it's also kind of hard, right? Because in your head this entire time you've been thinking,
That's true.
I'm getting one of those guys.
Yeah, you woke up this morning being like, I hate being a Browns fan, but it's okay because we're getting Travis Hunter.
Right. And then at the end of the day, you're like, you know what? We're also not getting Travis Hunter, so now you have to sit here and deal with that. And then on top of that, again, interior defensive linemen and offensive linemen are just so unsexy picks.
That's true.
Let alone in the top 5. So it's like when you pick one of those picks in the top 5, when you have a top 5 pick, it's like you can't even really tell the impact that they super have unless they have like this crazy impact, right? Like a tackle, the goal is you don't even want to speak about them, right? If you don't speak about the tackle, then they're doing a great job. And same thing with the defensive tackle. Like, unless they get sacks, it's really hard. It's like you hope they stop the run, you hope they kind of help, but it's like you can't really. It's hard to measure those unless they're like a sack getter, right? So he's not. So it's kind of hard where it's like you get this pick, you think you're gonna get something sexy, and then you get this like blah, but you get a first round pick. You get a first round pick next year out of it. So
yeah, no, the Browns definitely did really well there. I got to give it to them.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Kearns, I'm so sorry, buddy.
Trevor Lawrence also. Trevor Lawrence. We didn't talk about the impact
of
of Travis Hunter. What do you guys think he plays on the side? Like, do you think they want him defense? Do you think they want him offense? Obviously, he'll play a bit of both, right? But like, what do you think his biggest impact on the Jags will be?
Kearns actually mentioned that before we were talking. He actually made a good point of Kearns. If you want to repeat what you said too, because I don't want to,
So I mean, I think with kind of like the recent criticism of the way that T. Law has been playing, I think you primarily want him as a wide receiver, right? You want him as another weapon for Trevor Lawrence to go out there and like have a guy you can throw to, and maybe be like that primary receiver. I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. I think he's going to be very, very staunch on like, no, I'm playing both positions. You can't tell me I'm not going to play both positions. And we've talked about it before. Like, I think there's going to be situations where he's playing like, maybe he'll play 15, or like 10 to 20% of defensive snaps, and then like 70 to 80% or 80 to 90% of the offensive snaps. So like maybe he will do both and just kind of, it won't be a balancing, won't be a 50-50 thing. He'll play like a little bit on defense, and then he'll play primarily offense.
It's like, it's hard. That's hard, man. It's like a part-time wide receiver and a part-time corner is tough.
But I feel like with the recent, I guess, kind of criticism and like the questioning of whether T-Law was kind of worth it for them to go get, I think they use him as primarily receiver, at least to start out. And like, who knows? Maybe after his first year, maybe mid-season, they realize he's more valuable to them on the defensive end, and then they switch it and he plays corner, or maybe it's a matchup thing, right? Oh, 6th pick is in.
What if?
Yep. The Raiders.
Hold on. Wait. I gotta do.
It's got to be Ashton Jensen.
Wait. Ashton Jensen could be. I don't know if it is officially, but.
Oh, yep. Kearns, you want to do it, or you want me to do it?
I got it. The 6th pick, the Raiders have selected Boise State running back Ashton Jensen.
Wow.
That's a very Pete Carroll pick.
Wow.
That's a very Pete Carroll pick. Can I be honest with you guys?
I love it.
I don't hate it. I love the sack.
I love it.
Honestly,
really.
I know the Raiders have a lot of other needs, but what does Vegas want? They want that star power, that sexy pick. And listen, the Raiders needed help in the run game. You know who their leading rusher was? I think it was like Zamir White or something.
Was it Amir Abdullah?
Oh, it might have been Amir Abdullah, and Zamir White was your backfield. So I think you need some help in the run game. And Ashton Jensen, arguably one of the best running backs we've seen in college football in recent memory, right? I would say should have been a Heisman, but that's either here or there. Throw it out. I will die on that hill. But this is a good move for the Raiders. And listen, you don't want to take running backs that high up, but for the case with Genty in Vegas, I don't hate it. I like it.
Hey, as salty as this makes me feel, right, to say out loud, you say what Saquon Barkley did for the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
If you have a weapon, a weapon is a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
What position they play, they can't really control, right? So if you can get him, and they still have got a ton of holes. They don't really have any wide receivers. They got Jacoby Myers as like their wide receiver one, and you guys of all people know what that feels like, right?
That was Kevin's
and then,
receiver.
But they got Brock Bowers. So you add two kind of generational talents at running back and then tight end, and then now you can kind of build off of that a little bit with having Geno Smith there. And then being able to kind of, find that wide receiver later and still get some depth there. So, I mean, you got to take the best player available, and that's really what it comes down to. I feel like they took the best player available.
Again, don't hate it. I mean, people were thinking that Shador could go to Vegas, but I know they traded for Geno Smith, but they were thinking maybe get Shador as like a future quarterback. But I think this is better to build around. I mean, like I said, Brock Bowers, and Genty, that's a good young duo to kind of build around with that.
Like I said, you can get some wide receivers. Now you get some wide receivers, For me, last year I was really a little bit salty because we couldn't really get one of those top 3 quarterbacks. But part of me was also thinking in the aspect of it's really, really impossible to get a number 1 wide receiver in the NFL, right? If you want a number 1 wide receiver in the NFL, you either need to trade your entire life away, and then once you trade your entire life away, now you're paying your entire life away, and then you're pigeonholed into making sure that you get that man the ball because you're paying him half the salary of the team after giving up half of your assets. So, I'm big on getting your wide receiver first over your quarterback. So I think, this year, if they can go get a wide receiver in that second round, that's a good tier, like a Luther Burden or something of that nature. And then they got Ashton Genty. Now they kind of inject some life into that Raiders, offense that they kind of didn't have outside of Brock Bowers, You
want to have that tough player in the trenches too, especially when you're going up against teams like the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Chargers in that division too.
You need it.
So this is a perfect pick. Again, people hated running backs in the first round that this high up, especially in the top 10. But this is the case where Genty was one of the biggest talents coming out of the draft. So again, this is like a perfect scenario here. I like this a lot.
Yeah. So question, how do you guys feel on 2 things? One, do you feel like Shador is going to be drafted top 10 at this point? Or do you think he slides? Where do you think he goes? And then 2, fantasy question. I'm going to fantasy egos it.
Oh, boy.
How do you guys feel about the landing spot for Genty?
So real quick, before we talk about all that great stuff, I just want to shout out some of the comments that we have here.
Yeah, please.
Nick Newton said, love Genty to the Raiders. Andy said they still stink. Genty was my Heisman winner. So, yeah.
Well, he is the Heisman winner in my personal record book.
Yeah.
He won the Heisman.
Well, that personal record book is very official. So,
yeah.
My guy, Brendan Walker. What's up, Brendan? He said, that's facts, Tyrell. And then Daryl sent 500. I don't know what it is. I don't know what 500 cent means, but Daryl, you know that I love you, buddy. He's got a long way to wait as an Eagles fan. Pick's not for a while, Daryl. I know it must be so hard.
It's really tough to be a Super Bowl
you
champion.
gotta wait forever for that pick.
It sucks, guys. It sucks, guys.
I saw a thing that people aren't going to answer phone calls for the Eagles because they feel like they're just going to get shafted in a trade.
The Eagles always win the trade. Like when in doubt, Howie is such a great GM that even as a Giants fan, I literally am not allowed to hate on it because I'm a realist. You know what I'm saying?
The only time I think when the Eagles had pick 32 the year after their first Super Bowl, they traded the pick to the Ravens. And guys, who do the Ravens get with that pick? Lamar Jackson. Some star out there. So
hey, that's the only trade I've ever heard of them not winning.
So that's the only. That's why I like the Eagles. I always appreciate them for trading their 32nd pick to the Ravens and us getting other.
Those guys.
Well, you're asking about Shador out of the top 10. I'm looking. So the Jets at 7. They're going to stick with Fields. I don't.
Yeah.
They do need a quarterback down the line. I don't see them going that route. Carolina, Bryce Young, obviously, they're going to stick with him.
Right.
The Saints are
That's it. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking the Saints. And then if
he doesn't go to the Saints, his slide is going to be very weird.
I'm looking
deep.
Literally
deep. You're going 20s. You're going to the Steelers if you don't feel the need to trade up.
Yeah, you got to go Steelers. If this order's the same way, which is probably not going to happen, but if this is
right,
that's
what I'm saying. Unless someone trades up for him, his ceiling at that point becomes Steelers because no one else really needs a quarterback. And then at that point, it's like, all right, cool. And if no one takes a quarterback from here now to 21, and there's all these quarterbacks that are kind of jumbled into that same kind of space between, the Milrows and the Darks and
they're going to wait.
Sanders at that point, right? Now you're like, okay, cool. What team really feels the need? Like, do I need to do that when I didn't even think he was going to be there anyway? So now it's like who I planned to pick or who I was going to now gets bumped down even a little bit lower, and now you have to get, it really becomes it's going to be kind of weird, honestly. So, but personally, as a Giants fan a team that needs a quarterback and probably plans to take a quarterback at some point, I'm kind of hoping that he doesn't go 9, and that way all these quarterbacks just keep falling down.
Yeah.
We just get one just tumbles right into our lap,
I mean, if this was a year ahead, then you could say the Colts at 14 if Richardson doesn't do well. But again, I'd still think you give him some time too. But and if they don't, what if the Steelers don't go 21? Then what happens after that? Like, what do you?
I think he's the second round. If he doesn't get picked up by Pittsburgh, I think he goes second.
Because after Pittsburgh, you got Chargers, Packers, Vikings, Texans, Rams. Like with
Rams, sure.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
At the same time, it's like at that point, as a Giants fan, I'd rather them say, hey, take our second round pick, take one of our third round picks because we have 2. Let us move up to this one spot, grab our quarterback that we want, and let us have our 5th-year option with him. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So right now, guys, we have the Jets on the board. So the Jets added Justin Fields. The pick is in. The pick
I believe
is
in.
in. The pick is in. The pick is in. Everybody.
The way you're saying that sounds like
the New York Jets have selected Missouri offensive tackle Armand.
Yeah, I love that.
Membu.
Yeah, great pick.
Everyone knows how terrible I am with last names.
Armand Membu. That raw power, a lot of potential, playing mainly right tackle. I think he never even had snaps at left tackle too. His comparison was Fashanu, his teammate with the Jets now on the left side too. Literally an athletic tackle here. This is good for the Jets. They need help. They want more of like a mobile kind of tackle with the offensive line, kind of going back and forth because now they have Justin Fields and Fashanu's also an athletic tackle. So this is a very good spot for him too. This guy's 6'4", 332. So this is another big dude for the Jets. So they're helping out that offensive line. I think this is a good kind of move for the Jets. They had a lot of messes this past season, including Kevin's favorite quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. That's his boy right there. I know Kevin's been waiting to see where Aaron Rodgers is going to end up going too.
Nobody cares where this guy's going to go.
He's so mad about me.
Nobody cares where this guy's going to go.
But
if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers, do you think, say they have an idea that he's going to go to them, does that change their decision on drafting a quarterback this year? Do you think that, because they've always been fine with starting a quarterback that's, not the future, but can get them to the playoffs, which they always seem to fucking end up somehow.
at 9-8.
Dude, at 9, right. They always have the most middling.
Oh, Tyrell, we have some news out of the Giants.
Yep.
Kayvon Thibodeau, welcome to Dual Carter, the Giants. And then minutes later, the GM says they're picking up Thibodeau's 5th-year option.
I love it. Like I said, I was fearing that we would trade him or do something. And you know what? Adding that does not taking that 5th-year option doesn't keep us from trading him, right? But at the very least, it gives him a little bit more peace of mind of saying, you know what? I'm here for another 2 years. Let's create this kind of pass rushing trio. That's what we did. When we beat you guys, when you guys were undefeated, right? We had Michael Strahan, OC. We had Matthias Kiwanuka. You know what I'm saying? Justin Tuck. We had crazy guys there. So it's like, all right, cool. If that's been our identity before, why not try it again? See if it works.
This defensive line is going to be nuts for the Giants. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Dexter Lawrence in the middle on top of that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what do you want? And then I like our corners. I like who we grabbed.
Mm-hmm.
I like we got Javon Holland to get some picks.
And I told you I love the Javon Holland signing. I thought that was one of my underrated favorite signings. I think with the free, that was such a good move for them.
Bro, literally what they did on the defensive side makes me feel like the rest of this draft is going to be offense. They're like, you know what? We'll give one more premium asset.
Yeah, that's good. Now you load up on offense. Now you load up there.
And they're going to go on offense. We're going to probably grab a quarterback. Probably going to grab another a running back for sure, and then some linemen and maybe a D tackle at some point later in the draft. And I think if we can do that, if we walk away with a quarterback that we love, a premium asset and an edge rusher, and then some depth elsewhere, man, that's where we're at.
Couple of comments here. Just want to highlight in the chat. We have. Oh, let me bring up the right camera here. Sorry, guys. I'm producing and hosting. If you've never done it before, I promise you it's not easy. Panthers trying to trade the pick. Great pick for Fields' continued development, Wesley Burton. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I still believe in Justin Fields. I think this they needed some mobile kind of linemen. Again, like I said, this helps with Justin Fields. I think this is a good fit for them. They've been drafting a lot of linemen the past couple of years too.
Yeah,
From Mekhi Becton, Elijah Vera Tucker, Bashanu, and
he started 35 games over 3 seasons. He allowed 0 sacks in 2024, over 800 snaps.
Yeah,
explosive, athletic. He fits everything you want in a tackle. The only issue is that he's only played right tackle.
That's the thing. He's been since he started. That's literally all. He's never even looked at the left tackle spot too. But again, this is a good. They could maybe do that, but again, if they keep Fashanu, who was really good for New York also, so I don't think they need to move him at left. They don't have to. And also then you still got Vera Tucker at the guard spot. They got a nice young line there too, and I think, again, it's a really going in durability, because the Jets also, the problem was they had a lot of injuries on the offensive line last year. So this is key for them too. Again, like you said, Kevin, was it 33 games like straight playing, like no misses or anything?
Yeah.
Like that's very good for at that level of college football. In that position too. So
all right, so we shift focus now. The Panthers are on the clock. Now the Panthers are interesting to me because I don't know, a couple of months ago we were probably saying they might be considering a quarterback here.
Yeah.
They might be looking at a full rebuild. Then Bryce Young just kind of figured it out, found his way, turned it around.
He found his way. He got it.
He earned at least another year, right?
Yeah, I don't think, because you especially get him at number 1. I don't think you get you even look at quarterbacks 2 years after. Then if you say he does bad this year, then maybe you start thinking about it. But
right.
Panthers got a lot of other needs. I would say definitely on the defensive side too. What about a guy like Jalen Walker, like a linebacker hybrid edge guy too? I know they let go of Brian Burns also, so they can definitely kind of go with it.
Oh,
yeah, they need a wide receiver back.
A wide receiver too, kind of give Bryce another weapon too.
Go Tet here and give him another weapon and say, okay, you kind of came alive. Let's see what you can do now that you have an additional weapon here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was just going Walker because I definitely could help out the defense too, and I'm a big fan of Jalen Walker also, who I think is definitely going to go high up in this draft. Ted also wouldn't make sense too, because who was like the receivers they have Xavier Legette and Adam Thielen. Yeah, I would probably say you
might
want
be a trade candidate too.
Yeah, that also could be the possibility.
Hey, don't sleep on my guy Jalen Cooper.
Oh boy, I forgot about him as well too.
But they actually, they had an interesting offseason. They brought a lot of different like starting guys in. Just some quality starters. Tershawn Morton. They re-signed Michael Jackson. Big one was Trayvon Mooring. I think he was from the Raiders.
Raiders safety. Yeah.
Rico Dowell to appear alongside
Chuba Hubbard,
who got that nice contract extension, and then Jonathan Brooks, who Tyrell tried to trade rate me with. Austin Corbett.
Hey, and you know what? Honestly, Fitz, I literally have nightmares about not accepting the trade.
So you have nightmares, Tyrell? Because let me just tell you guys something about this. I am in
nightmares.
I'm in 5 fantasy leagues. In 3 of them, I think I'm in.
Try hard.
Yeah. He won all of them. He won all of them last year.
Dude, it was a weird year. It was a great year. I can't relive it, but I'll always remember it. You know what I'm saying?
I hate you so much.
Dude, I literally won so many leagues. I don't even know what happened. I forgot. Dude, I don't even remember how it happened. I don't know what's going on.
Wow. And the Carolina Panthers have selected Arizona wide receiver Ted McMillan.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the first one we can give a clap to, because it makes sense. They needed Bryce. They needed to give him someone, right? They needed to give him someone. He doesn't really have. Mingo clearly wasn't it. Who else did they grab last year? You know what I'm saying?
A solid possession receiver, I would say.
Tell us about Ted McMillan.
A solid possession receiver, I would say. Not like with the flashy speed and the freak athleticism, but can get you those nice possession catches here. With Arizona, was a very good receiver for them too. The first receiver on the board. I think this is definitely good for Carolina. You want to get that number 1 target kind of for Bryce Young, pairing him up with Xavier Legette. Who knows what they're going to do with Adam Thielen, but this is a good spot. You want to help out with Bryce Young after kind of stepping up last season at the back half of the season. And they're like, you know what? You want to continue playing well here? We'll give you another guy. See what you can do here with Tet. So this is a good spot here. I definitely like this pick for the Panthers.
People love Matthew Golden, but, I think Ted was always going to be that guy in there.
Mhm.
The only problem is we've seen them draft wide receivers, and they haven't really done a great job yet. So I don't know how super trustworthy I am of their assessment of wide receivers if I'm just being completely transparent. But at the same time, you got to keep taking swings because that's how you got to give your quarterback a best run. At some point.
Yeah, I think he'll be a nice, reliable wide receiver, especially down the line. He'll be able to kind of be the guy that they can go look when they really need a couple yards. He might struggle a little bit to begin with because, like Fawn said, he doesn't have necessarily that like super flashy speed, that sort of breakaway kind of burn you right off if you're trying to press coverage. He doesn't really have that speed to just burn you right off there. But I think he'll be a solid receiver, very consistent guy. And like I think that'll be a good person for them to look at and say, all right, Bryce Young, like this is a guy you can really build your relationship with, your QB receiver relationship with, and have a guy that can be your safety net, have a guy that can be your, we need yards, we need someone to go get a ball. He's your guy right there.
He's 6'4", 219. So like again, not
He's
freak,
a big dude. He's a big dude.
not going to be your burner, not going to be your freak athlete doing all these crazy moves. But if you throw him up the ball, he's going to go up there and catch it. He has some really good hands. He's going to box out a lot of smaller corners. So this is definitely he's going to be a huge red zone target for them also.
Exactly.
Yeah, like a Mike Evans, massive, consistent receiver.
Mike Evans. Yeah, his pro comparison they talk about with T. Higgins, but I could say Mike Evans too, kind of with the size as well. So
yeah,
this is good.
Yeah, no, he's a big body guy. I think that he struggles to get separation, but as far as those jump balls and those big one-on-ones,
just lob it, he'll get it.
He's going to be good. And who knows, Mike Evans never had blazing speed, but always found ways to get separation. There was
1,000 yards every year. Mike Evans is a walking 1,000 yards every year.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
So I'm excited for this. I think it gives Bryce Young an actual true weapon. They brought in Xavier Luget, who showed some flashes last year and was a pretty solid, it could be a solid number 2 guy. They have Jalen Cooker, who showed some flashes last year, and then they have Adam Thielen, who is more reliable. I think this is a great pickup to continue to develop in Bryce Young and find out if he's the guy or not. Justin,
there's only one way to do it. You know what I mean? Only one way to do it. And that's to give him some protection and give him some weapons.
Good old reliable.
Good old
reliable. That was just so funny.
Dude, as we kind of wait, like I said, I'm always big on fantasy, right? So how do you guys feel about the Jonte landing spot, the Travis Hunter landing spot, and this landing spot? Like, do you guys feel good about them as far as like draft prospects going into it? I mean, dynasty, rookie drafts, where do you guys see them? And then as a whole, overall, like where do you see Jonte going and your regular? Because I remember when Saquon came out, right, and he was drafted this high. And I took him so early. Again, biased, Giants fan, of course, right? But at the same time, I'm like, you can get some value in getting a high-end like player like that early without people, being onto it. Is that someone you guys would kind of jump on and take him like first round, second round? Where's your head when it comes to
I'm not the big expert here, but I would say with Jonte, right? Like I'm sure, like it wasn't a few years ago, Bijan. He was a rookie, but he was still taken very high in the draft. Also,
I got sucked into the Bijan rookie high.
No, but I'm saying like
it can burn, or it can hurt, or it can be helpful.
But I'm saying it kind of reminds me of that. Like Bijan was like a high draft pick coming out with his rookie year, and also fantasy wise, Jonte. I think there's a potential it could be the same thing. Also, could be in that first round kind of selection here. But again, I'm not the fantasy expert. That's kind of what I'm seeing.
So Tyrell, that we have coming up our draft on Sunday.
You have the first pick.
I'm fully prepared to take Ashton Jonte with the number 1 pick. As far as to where a Tet McMillan goes, I think Tet goes somewhere in that top 6 range. I'd love to get Tet on the comeback. I have 4 and 5. Love to get Tet on the comeback. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but if someone loves Cam Ward and then maybe Hampton or one of these other top back goes, and I can maybe grab Tet with the 4. I'm in big favor of it. But yeah, big body. I love this for the development of Bryce Young, and I think that this is a great pick for the.
What about Travis Hunter? Are you drafting him? Him?
No, I think the fact that he plays defense hurts his value.
Yeah,
I agree. Unless you guys have a defensive, unless you guys have IDP, right? Because if you have IDP, then he kind of goes both ways, and you can kind of double dip a little bit. But it's really hard to not have an idea of what he's going to do while drafting, right? And normally your rookie drafts are somewhat directly after the draft, so you can't really see where they really kind of plan to use them. So
I know it's different. I don't know how it works with, but in fantasy baseball with Ohtani, there's Shohei Ohtani, the pitcher, and Shohei Ohtani, the batter. He's two different people. So maybe they'll do that with Travis Hunter also. That could be the case.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Hunter.
how would they set that up? Would you be able to draft him as one player and then put him in your lineup as your IDP or your receiver?
Well, yeah.
Is in.
Okay. That's an interesting take.
All right, the New Orleans Saints are selecting tackle Kelvin Banks Jr. out of Texas.
Oh, yeah. So here we go, guys. Here we go. Shedeur Sanders slide.
Yeah, this is where
starts now.
Tyrell, you're lagging a little bit, my man. Just want to give you a heads up.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I got too many people on this house on the internet right now.
We'll kick them all out.
Calvin?
Yo, Sola cheering 4 bits. Thank you so much.
Sola just
that.
cheered 4 bits.
Appreciate.
Shout out to everyone who's watching right now on Twitch. Shout out to everyone right now who's watching on Facebook and everyone's watching on YouTube. We appreciate the love and the comments and the support. Trying to get everybody on the comments here, but we have a couple that I want to run through. Smitty, perfect place for Ashton with a head coach that will throw the ball on the 1 yard.
Well played. Well played.
I wants to know how Sean's doing, and then Wesley Burton said second wide receiver taken. Fonz Hunter was obviously the first.
Oh my, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Well, he's like an athlete now. I'm confused.
Right, yeah. You put him as ATH.
I don't even know anymore with Travis Hunter. Like the pure wide receiver. I apologize for that. The pure wide receiver.
Also, one thing about Genty too is
what's going on?
He has no comp. Genty has no comp. Right? My dream scenario for him was the Broncos. Because I feel like he would really.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would have been.
That was my dream.
I think the Broncos could go Hampton from UNC if they want to go running back in that round. I think he's going to be the second back taken, in my opinion. I would say, but that'd be another team.
Someone's going to do it right now with the Bears in the clock.
Yeah, they would looking for a Genty.
We'll say with Kelvin Banks, guys, he can play both tackle and guard. And what do the Saints kind of need help there with the offensive line? Tackle and guard. So this is, I mean, again, it's not the sexy pick, but the athletic guard and tackle can play multiple sides of the line here. I think this is a good thing for the Saints here. They need kind of help with that. I'm shocked they didn't really go quarterback here, but you wanted to build up the offensive line, and Banks was your best available lineman here. And I think this is kind of a good spot for them.
All in on Derek Carr.
I thought he wasn't playing. I thought he wasn't playing this year.
I don't know.
Spencer Rattler, guys.
Interesting situation that's going on there with him.
Spencer Rattler, guys. It's Spencer Rattler season.
I love Spencer Rattler season. I love.
Bro, I'm dropping him ASAP.
Are you?
I'm trading him ASAP. I'm trading him ASAP. I'm gonna be like, you know what? Give me anything. I'll take anything.
All right. So Kelvin Banks. What are the Saints getting here, Fonz?
Again, an athletic guard and tackle can play both sides here. Good first step in here and good at pursuits. So, again, you've got that athletic kind of lineman here that can play all sides of the line. So, this is perfect. That's kind of what the Saints need here. So, that's kind of what you're getting here. I think that's kind of like the best case, though. An athletic tackle guard. This is kind of a good thing, though.
Yeah, and I think that it helps. They just lost Ryan Ramczyk, retired, announced his retirement. So
that's who I was about to, I forgot his name. Like, they just lost the guy too. Oh, yeah, that Ramczyk, that was his name. Yeah.
So this is their filling here for that. So I mean, whoever's going to be their quarterback, they're now working on getting them protected, which is important when you're playing against guys like Vita Vea.
Look,
Leonard Floyd, who just went over and joined the Atlanta Falcons.
Derek Brown in Carolina.
Yep, Derek Brown in Carolina. Forgot about him. Mm-hmm. So this is definitely a solid pick for the Saints. I'm always for interior linemen. I think this is great value. Obviously I trashed Will Campbell a little while ago, but I think this is a great pick for the Saints. Now we have the Bears on the clock.
I thought the Bears would go. I thought it was going to be Shedeur potentially 9, and then Kelvin Banks at 10 for the Bears. I thought that was what they were going to do if that was the case. Now the Bears were hoping that Banks would fall. So I think he would have been very good for Chicago, the athletic lineman for that Bears
or
line.
Genty there too,
or Genty also too.
They
Bears can go kind of a couple of different ways here. I would say kind of help maybe the defense with the linebacker spot. Maybe the linemen they kind of want to go with too. Or there was talks that Ryan Poles wants to trade back and just stockpile more picks.
Ryan Poles has done a great job there, in my opinion. He's done.
He's done. I agree. He's done a good job.
If Caleb Williams would have been what Jaden Daniels was last year, then they would have been a very, very scary team. He put together a great team. Then he went, and then once he realized what the problem was, he went and fixed his entire O line in like
Literally
30 seconds.
like one day in the offseason. Just
Dude, it was crazy. I'm like, bro, I've been a Giants fan my whole life. I watched our O line suck for the past decade, and I watched him in 37 minutes create the O line of my dreams. And I'm like, all right, And the sad part was, not to say that I don't like Joe Schoen, but it came down to Schoen or Poles for who we were hiring, and we went Schoen. Again, I don't know what Poles would have done differently based off of what we had, but
Pick is in.
So.
Is the pick in?
Pick is in.
All right. The Bears are taking Michigan tight end Colston Loveland.
Wow, your mic was
Interesting
off,
pick.
but we heard you on the echo.
Colston Loveland, Michigan tight end for the Bears.
Ooh, that puts him very high. And over TJ Warren.
Yeah, I thought Warren would be the first tight end. I mean,
Interesting.
Loveland was a good tight end also in his own right, but I thought it would go Warren first here. But Colston Loveland, interesting they go the tight end route because they do have Cole Kmet. I thought we were going to go kind of help out other spots on the line and on the defense here. But another target for Caleb Williams. Interesting.
What has happened with what's his nuts over there now?
Cole Kmet.
Yeah, I was going to say they have Cole
What an
Kmet.
interesting, yeah, like of all the things to do, but you know what? I can't knock Ryan Poles because I'm assuming he's going best player available.
That's true.
Right? And that's what he feels, right? Because you're not going to take a tight end that isn't in the consensus number one tight end and feel like you're not taking the best player available when you don't even need a tight end on top of that, So clearly he has some conviction in what he's doing. I feel like he probably would have rather have had Jonty, but things don't always fall the way they do. I think he would have rather had the last couple 3 picks. Really, and things didn't fall into his lap the way they wanted. So now here they go.
I think with Loveland, he's tight end obviously, but he's more of a receiving tight end. I think the one question was that his blocking skills was a little bit questionable at time. Maybe that's kind of what they want to have the Cole Kmet as more of like the blocking guy. I know he can receive too, but maybe they wanted more of like a guy who can kind of run routes a little bit more because he has a very good catch radius. That's what people were talking about with Loveland, but the passing protection is a little bit questionable. I'm just a little bit shocked that they went the tight end route because I didn't think that was necessarily a need for them. But another target for Caleb, I don't hate it actually.
Hey, who was one of Ben Johnson's favorite targets over in Detroit?
Sam Laporta. Agreed.
And a lot of also a lot of teams do the 2 tight end route now. One does purely blocking, one does receiving, or vice versa too.
Wow.
Wait a minute, who's next? Oh, the San Francisco
49ers
Yo, we need to
selected Georgia's defensive end, Mikel Williams.
Georgia's defensive Mikel. Okay,
Interesting.
I mean, here's the thing. Everyone said this draft is going to be weird, and it's going to be a weird first round, and no one knows how it's going to go. And that first 5. Everyone kind of knew. Now is when it's going to kind of get
just all over the place.
Yeah, because you had Jed Pierce, you had Shamar Stewart, you had Mike Green, Mikel Williams. Again, not bad, but I didn't think they would go that route with that spot. I thought he would be a little bit lower on the totem pole here.
Fonz McShay over there. Jeez.
Yeah.
Only word you missed there was upside.
Was it Fonz Kuiper Jr. and Fitz McShay? That's what it is. More importantly, shout out Adam Schefter. May 14th, they're going to announce the NFL schedule. So I know you guys are looking forward to that too.
I believe that we have another guest here.
Who's here?
Whoa.
I believe that we have another guest, and we're going to bring him on the screen here. And everyone who's part of JDF Sports for a long time has been a follower, knows this face. But everyone, welcome Alec Walsh.
Bye. I'll see you later.
Wow.
Please leave, Fonz. Please leave.
I'm so happy.
You are more than welcome to leave right now. That would be perfect.
I'm so happy.
There's nothing I want more than that.
I am so happy. I only see Kevin on the screen right now, and I have the live stream on my phone seeing everybody else. But guess what? I'm turning off the live stream now on my phone because I can't. I don't want to see Wall. I don't want to hear him talking to me about the Patriots stuff. I don't want to do this, Kevin. What are you doing
When
here?
I joined the stream, the first voice I heard was yours. I was like, God,
and you'll love it. And
damn
you'll love it. And you like my hat?
I was like,
You like my
really?
hat?
I was like, could anyone else be talking right now?
I got the official draft cap right here. I'm going to get drafted by the Ravens. I don't know
Hey,
what I
Fonz,
want.
congratulations,
we do not
Fonz.
care.
That's true.
Wall,
No
what do
one.
you think about Mikel Williams on the 49ers?
Well, we got drafted by the. I'm so behind on my draft right now. It's not even funny. I mean, edge doesn't really surprise me there. They needed someone to go alongside Bosa. I mean, they love to draft defensive linemen. I feel like we've been seeing it for years. I mean, it's just if they've had a hole in the defensive line, they've drafted in that direction early in drafts. So getting someone with the hand in the dirt opposite to Bosa doesn't surprise me at all. I think they were a team that really wanted an offensive lineman to drop, and none of them did to the 11th pick. So defensive end made the most sense. I think him falling to 11 is nice. I'm surprised he went over Walker, but there aren't many teams I think that would draft him over Walker, and the Niners are one of them because I think Walker you can move around a little bit more. Yeah. But I think that's a great pick for San Francisco for him falling that low, but I think they are pissed they did not get an offensive lineman.
I agree.
Well, let's just talk about the 49ers here for a second. I have the graphic up here. Talk about departures. Travarius Ward, Debo Samuel, Dre Greenlaw, Aaron Banks, Hufanga, Hargrave, Jalen Moore, Malik Collins, Leonard Floyd. Did anyone have a worse offseason than the San Francisco 49ers?
It needs to be studied.
The Cowboys, maybe.
They didn't lose as much.
They lost two starting offensive linemen. Some starting defensive
and they still have Dak Prescott
and took nothing, and then are waiting for Dak Prescott to get it. But other than them,
Jerry Jones still their owner, so
right, exactly. So you can't really win there either, you know.
I forgot the Niners signed DeMarcus Robinson and Mac Jones. I completely forgot about that.
Dude, what do you mean bad offseason? They got Mac Jones. What do you mean?
Brock Purdy,
number one offseason right there.
They comped Colston Loveland to Kobe Fleener. I don't know how anybody feels about that, but that would not make me feel great.
What a throwback name.
Kobe Fleener.
Kobe Fleener was the Bleacher Report comp for Colston.
I was on CBS and they compared him to Greg Olsen, so that's just like two way different tight ends to compare him to. That is
crazy. Like I said, I am a fan of TJ Warren. Again, I always think of these things in the fantasy aspect, especially Dynasty, because I love Dynasty. So I'm like, you know what? Hopefully somebody goes and takes this dude over TJ Warren and lets me take TJ Warren at some point. But again, the way that he likes to use his tight end in Sam Laporta, you kind of have to give a little bit of a nod there.
Like a receiving one. I think they wanted to go because Alec was saying before the linemen, they were hoping the Niners were hoping one of them would drop. I think that's the case for the Bears too. They were hoping that one of those guys kind of fell to them at the number 10. They saw it didn't happen. So they just went with, all right, let's go with our backup option. So they went with the tight end spot here. I think that was also the case, like with the Niners. The Bears did the same thing.
Yeah, I thought the Bears were going to go lineman, to go someone like opposite of Sweat.
But I think the guys they were looking for, that's what I'm thinking, like the one like Banks and everything, like they were looking for those guys. And then, of course, like the Saints would go into Banks at number 9, too. So maybe that was the case.
Yeah. Dude, this is gonna be crazy because now, like I said, I just kind of wonder – as more and more picks come in, quarterbacks.
Well, what is Dallas? And then now we go to Dallas. What the heck is Dallas? I don't even know what Dallas
is.
Got
the worst criminal record in the draft right now.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, whoever that is, slot them in with Dallas. I think they go Matthew Golden. I think they need a wide receiver.
They're gonna go. They want that fast wide receiver, so they're gonna go. Yeah, I would. Golden, Luther Burn, if they want to do that, but yeah, Golden probably I feel like is like the perfect thing for them too. It was like a couple years ago when they didn't need a wide receiver a couple years ago and they got CeeDee Lamb. I know obviously it worked out for them too, but they kind of always go for the flashy player, like the best available.
And the crazy thing is, the Broncos took Jerry Jeudy over CeeDee Lamb, and I bet you they wish they could do things differently.
Oh my God, I forgot that. Yeah,
Howie Roseman's pissed that a Georgia Bulldog just got drafted by another team than the Philadelphia Eagles.
Dude, they're gonna take Malachi Starks.
No, Tyrell, no, do not say that. I want the Ravens to get Malachi Starks. Do not say that.
So I'm in a group chat with my friend, and he's an Eagles fan, and I'm a realist. I'm telling him how good the team is. I'm like, who do you guys want? He's like, so I think we'll end up with Malachi Starks or Jahad Campbell. He's like, we love the Bulldogs. I'm like, dude, I said, if y'all get Starks, I'll throw my phone. I'll do it right now from just reading.
If Starks,
I literally will lose my mind.
Starks, if he goes right to the Ravens, if he's there at that spot, I think they should definitely take him.
Well, you want that, even though you guys have what's his name back there?
Yeah, line him up. No, you line him up next to Kyle Hamilton. That will literally feed families. That safety duo right there.
It would.
And they got Ardarius. They brought back Ardarius Washington. They got Ardarius Washington, so they got 3 solid safeties here. I'm not kidding. That defense will feed families. Let's go Ravens.
Walt, what do you think about the Will Campbell pick?
I think when you look at the moves the Pats made this offseason, they addressed a lot of their needs outside of left tackle. And When you looked at it, was basically, in my opinion, it was going to be Abdul Carter or him. When he went to the Giants, I had a feeling that was going to be the pick, and he's been dominant at LSU. I mean, he's been a starter at left tackle 3 consecutive years at LSU. Say what you want about Brian Kelly. He has regularly produced offensive line talent to the NFL. The Pats have a massive need at left tackle. And when your team signed, I'm forgetting his name right now, who was the top free agent left tackle, there really weren't that many options.
Ronnie Stanley,
exactly. So the Pats addressed a lot of other needs in free agency, and it left them in a great position to draft him. It's not the sexiest pick in the world, but they have to protect Drake May, and this put them in the best position to do that, as well as addressing other needs in free agency.
Yeah, I think you brought up a good point. Like, there's no other position that was addressed less than that offensive tackle position. I know that they tried to get a guy like Ronnie Stanley. They tried to make some pushes. They were unsuccessful. They brought in Morgan Moses. They brought in Garrett Bradbury when David Andrews retired for health reasons. The one position, I mean, they addressed Stephon Diggs. They brought in Mac Hollins. Like, there's still plenty of picks, obviously, in this draft, and the Patriots, I think, have 8 or 9, something along those lines. So they can address other wide receiver position, but the one that was still not addressed was that offensive tackle position. So, and are you concerned with his reach at all?
Not really. I mean, I get it. It's the combine. They're going to measure absolutely everything possible. At the end of the day, he started 3 consecutive years at LSU. I mean, I found they have this in his player bio on NFL.com. Second team All-SEC, freshman All-American, freshman All-SEC in 2010 to 22. In 23, he was a first team All-SEC while starting all 13 games at left tackle. Last year, he was a AP All-American, first team All-SEC, and shared the blocking trophy with Kelvin Banks. Yeah. I mean, every single year, he has made a list and improved his name on one that was even greater the next season. So he's proven he can be a left tackle against premier competition. Now, his supporting cast on the offensive line right now in New England's not that great. It's looking like his left guard could be Cole Strange, who was decent at the end of last year. I don't really love the rest of their offensive line.
Was that their first-round pick?
I hate that pick.
Yes, but that's obviously situation and who you're surrounded by, and a lot of that stuff does matter. Right. But at the end of the day, it comes down to protecting Drake May, and I think this was their best option to be able to do it with their assets this offseason.
Yeah, I agree. I think that if this is the best pick that they could have went with, then I'm all in support of it. If it helps us win, if it keeps Drake May in his feet, he was sacked a ton. He was under a bunch of pressure last year. If he can block some of these guys, the Bradley Chubbs and John Johnson's, the Jets defensive end there, then, obviously I think it's a great pick. We'll see how it is. I know that people are scared about the reach. I know that it's tough to not be able to block with that extra inch and a half. But, hey, if he has all the tangibles of being a great tackle, then I don't understand why anyone's upset about it.
I mean, Walt made a good point, though. With the combine, I feel like sometimes they over-exaggerate, measurements, too. With stuff. Either, hand sizes and reach, too. And even, when they say a certain thing. Jamar Chase, didn't they say something it's harder to catch in the NFL because the ball looks different or something like that, and people overreacted to that. I forgot the exact quote it was, but you always get one or two of those things where it's a little bit of an overreaction. But Will Campbell, the whole thing with the reach, could it be a problem? I don't really think so because again, he was like Walt said, starter for 3 years at LSU and consistently on the top lineman. So
I mean, how many times have you seen freaks at the combine not translate to the league?
That's what I'm saying. The guy
who weren't sticking out at all at the combine, and then they turned out to be all-pro players.
No, seriously.
There's other guys that blow up from the combine, and then they just go, they shoot up the draft boards, and they don't pan out, so then that's the case too. So I don't really look into that stuff like that, really, honestly. I look at more how they do in the drills kind of thing.
The pick is in. The Dallas Cowboys have selected Alabama guard Tyler Booker.
Wow.
Okay.
Earlier than I thought he'd go. He's a
Wow.
tank, but earlier than I thought.
You want to talk about big? This dude is 6'5", like 330.
Yeah, he's gonna mow people.
This guy is a ball, like a mauler.
High energy guy, big motor.
Hey, man, there's only one thing I trust Jerry Jones to do, and that's to draft offensive linemen. That's it. And he did it.
And I believe he was the captain at Alabama this past season. So he obviously has like the leadership there. So I think that helps a little bit. I kind of say like kind of one more like a mature guy on that offensive line. But this guy's like the definition of like a mauler. Like I'm a fan of this guy. It's good for Dallas. He's big. No, he's big. He is a big dude.
I mean, like I said, we talked about it. They literally lost a ton on the offensive line this year.
Yeah.
Didn't really gain in it. So, they're big on taking their offensive linemen. It's weird to see like guards starting to go in the top 15, top 10 nowadays, where that wasn't a thing back in the day. But now they just are a premium position, right? Like they just happen to be premium positions. Anything on the offensive line is outside of really center,
Yeah. Look what he did with, a consistent starter at Alabama, like a high-end school with all those running backs they had within Jalen Milroe. I think this is a good spot for Dallas. So this is a good move for them too.
Yeah. I think it's getting back to those tough front. When Dallas was one of the most successful teams when they had that offensive line. So building that back, they obviously lost some pieces this offseason with Zach Martin retiring. So
that's a big one.
Fill that need, and this guy has a lot of the abilities to go in and fill that need. So we'll see how that translates.
He's like one of like the offensive lineman highlights that I'm watching. Like I just love him. Like I'm looking at him right now, and they're like, although the stream I was looking at him, like these are beautiful. Like this is perfect. This is cinema.
You want to beat the Eagles. You want to beat the Eagles in that division. You got to get through that defensive front.
Yeah,
and the Giants do defensive front as well.
And the Giants just got Abdul Carter, them too,
and Washington,
and Brian Burns.
Yeah,
so I think, you got to figure
and Dexter Lawrence.
You got to factor in the.
Wait, hold on a second, Tyrell. Your defensive line is cooking right now, my boy.
Dude, you put Carter, Dex, and you put him with Kayvon, and you put him with Brian Burns.
That's it. Brian Burns. That is.
I forgot all about Brian Burns.
Yeah, bro.
Oh my God, that is a.
I know.
That's scary.
I'm like, that's why I'm like, you know what? I don't want to trade Kayvon. Let us have those dogs running and going at him. Then you got Dexter Lawrence destroying the middle, and whatever other D tackle you put next to him literally just has to stop the run. That's all we ask for that at that point, and everybody's good. You know what I'm saying?
And then behind them at the linebacker spot, you got Bobby Okereke, right? I believe he's still there too. So he's a consistent tackle for them too. So again, the Giants, that defense, I'm liking it.
And then you have Mr. Unlimited on the other side. So
God, I would actually pay for a monthly subscription service to see like the QB room of Jameis, Tommy DeVito, and Russell Wilson, just to see the conversations they have there.
Let alone if they trade back into the first round and add Shador. Straight circus, bro.
Oh my God. I want Tommy DeVito's agent to be there too, and then Deion's going to be.
Just let Tommy DeVito's agent just be there continuously.
I think it's hilarious that every potential offensive lineman that the Dolphins could have drafted to protect Tua is gone.
Yeah, there's like Tyler Booker for Miami would have been
single one
beautiful.
Of them. They're at 13 and none of them fell to them.
They're now, like that. This was the case like with the Bears
and
the Niners. You were hoping that these linemen would fall to them, and this is the case where the linemen are all falling at a pretty much where everyone kind of would expect. You could maybe say Booker, but now you're looking at it, Booker kind of does make a lot of sense with the Cowboys. Booker would have been perfect for Miami. Like I don't even think you go. Is there an interior lineman you'd go?
All right, Pete.
This high up though. Like would you go Gray Zabel? Would you go up with the Dolphins? Go up there and get him there.
I mean, at 13, that would be a little ridiculous.
No, that's what I'm saying though. Like there's like really like you. I don't even. Do they go gold? They don't do golden, right? Because the Tyreek Hill.
I can see them going corner. What about Will Johnson?
No, they could do Will. Yeah, I was gonna say they could do Will Johnson.
Yeah. Will Johnson makes a ton.
Yeah,
makes a ton of sense. And you can pair him with Jalen Ramsey. It's a win-win. Malachi Starks can make sense.
No.
Grab somebody.
Malachi Starks does not make sense in Miami. Does not. Nope.
I mean, they just lost someone else. I'm sorry.
The Cowboys' offensive line now features Tyler Booker, Tyler Smith, and Tyler.
27.
Tons of Tylers.
Tons of Tylers. Couple of comments here. I just want to show some love and make sure that we get to, as I pull that up. There it is. Brian said that because this guy always shows up. I don't know anything about this draft class. What's Green Bay mock to get? I think that they're going to take Ohio State wide receiver.
Dude, where are these running backs going to go? I thought they were going to go a little higher. I don't know why I had like a Marion Hampton going higher. I mean, I guess Genty went high for a wide receiver. Yeah, I mean, a running back.
I would say I thought Genty obviously would be up there. Then I think the next one would be Hampton. I thought he would go to Denver. He could go to Denver too. The guy from UNC. That's the only two running backs I would see go in the first round, if anything.
Yeah, agreed. Like I said, I would love to. Like Denver was a great landing spot. Same thing with the Bears. One of those two spots for a running back is going to be elite. So I'm kind of wondering who they're going to end up with. But this is a deep running back class, so people also may not be jumping in that first round to do it.
This running back class is good post like the first, maybe even like late second round, because then you got both Ohio State guys, Henderson and Judkins, and then you got Caleb Johnson from Iowa too. You got
Scatterbo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that Marion Hampton still not gone. Even what's that other dude?
Could Tyler Warren go here or Jalen Walker?
I could see a Jalen Walker going here.
Walker be pretty good here too.
I could see Tyler Warren going too, just to get another weapon.
Yeah.
But maybe, because I don't want to make the mistake with the wide receiver. Outside of Travis Hunter, what other corners were taken? I don't think there was any other.
I think
Anyone else was. Will Johnson's the next one up.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's, I didn't even like this is usually corners are taken way.
And that just shows you what they think about the corner class, right? If you're going to take a guard over a corner, two guards.
Yeah,
really. Like that shows you where people kind of their heads are a little bit when it comes to this cornerback class. Honestly,
Will Johnson would be a pretty solid option if Miami goes that route too.
I feel like that. I mean, if you're going to be getting rid of Jalen Ramsey, I think that you now focus with all the linemen off the table. I think you focus on a Will Johnson, and then maybe
they wanted
Jalen Ramsey and try to get some value out of him.
They would
welcome a return.
They really wanted it. Hopefully, the line was going to fall down to that spot because that would have been like perfect for them. Any of those linemen, but that's happening.
I feel like the Rams are in a position right now where they're like, okay, we won a championship. Now we're going to rebuild. Oh, wait, we don't need to rebuild. We're still hanging on. And now they're buying again and going for another championship run. They could go and take Jalen Ramsey, and then maybe they give up. What are they picking at?
They're at
26?
They're before the Ravens. They're before the Ravens. So, yeah, 26.
I don't think Jalen Ramsey pulls a first-round pick still, does he?
No. Not anymore.
Not even close.
Hey, what's the Rams motto? Fuck them picks or something?
This is like the first Rams first round pick, and did they do one last year? It was like the first time in like a couple of seasons.
Yeah, they had Jared Verse last year, but other than that,
but I'm saying like in between, there was like nothing. They just trade all their picks.
A great pick,
dude, crazy. Hey, they got a championship.
Yeah, of course
they got a ring out of it. So
their one first round pick that they got in a couple of years was Jared Verse.
I know, right?
That front office was needed freaking Sean McVay or geniuses.
Enough of Sean McVay guessing the place. I'm done with that's another whole rant from the. Oh yeah, Kevin loves Mike McDaniel.
He's so corny.
Mike McDaniel, it's like my hand's like on the button of like turning. It might be warm, it might not be. I'm waiting to see. I'm gonna give it a couple of times here though.
So we talk about the Dolphins. Oh, and the pick is in. Wow. Surprise pick. The pick is in.
So it's not corner. It's the first time.
Miami Dolphins have selected with the 12th pick in the draft Michigan defensive tackle Kenneth Grant. Fonz. Walt, tell us about Kenneth Grant.
Walt, you want to go? You go first, Walt, or you want me to go?
Kenneth Grant is a gigantic defensive tackle.
He's big.
Like he is a pure nose tackle. And when you look at the Dolphins, I mean, they added Chop Robinson last year. They've had a couple defensive ends. They've really defensively, they haven't had like a gigantic interior presence, I feel like, in a while. Christian's obviously really good in the interior, not like 350-pound type nose tackle, but this dude is the pure nose tackle of this class. And I think it's going to be an immediate day one starter on the middle of that defensive line there in Miami.
Definition of like top tier run stopper. Not a good pass.
Pass pick is in too.
Wait,
The next
hold on.
pick is in
Who's
too.
next? Oh, God damn it, Kevin.
The Indianapolis Colts have selected with the number 14th pick tight end
Tyler
from Penn
Warren.
State,
That makes
Tyler
sense.
Warren.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Makes sense.
That makes
Wesley
tons of
Burton,
sense.
are you watching? What are your thoughts?
That's a
Frankie Cruz in the comments. What's going on, Frankie?
You know
Let's
what?
go, Will Campbell.
I think they
That's
were.
nation.
I think the Colts were thinking like maybe the Dolphins might get Warren here. We're not sure. And the second that they didn't pick him, they're like, all right, yep, that's our pick. That's
Yep.
what we're going with.
Get him.
Too.
Get him.
Like, well, say firstly with the Dolphins though, perfect run stopper. They definitely want to help it out there in the defense on the defensive line. Not really good with the passing there, but with Warren here, good vertical threat with the Colts here. I don't even know who's gonna be their starting quarterback day one, but the tight end has been like the big position need kind of for the Colts for quite some time. I think they got their day one guy there too in Warren. So this is definitely a good spot for them.
Not a
I mean,
good
their
pass
offense is.
blocker. I mean, run blocker.
Did you say not?
What'd you say?
I said he's not a good run blocker for Jonathan.
Oh
Taylor.
no. But I don't think that's why they're drafting.
No, they're using him as a vertical threat, like a vertical guy, a receiver. That's what he's going to be for them.
I think Indy, I mean, their offense is way too big play or like scramble dependent.
Because they're quarterback.
Well, no, I know. And I think that if they can get someone to help, like check down, I think that's what, I mean, if Anthony
Slow
Richardson's
down.
going to work, they need someone now. And I think
Yeah.
he is an excellent pick at that tight end position, regardless of the quarterback.
Yeah, they were excited about this. Pick.
Yeah.
This is a dream come true.
They
He's been
literally-
in all the
yeah,
mocks.
They literally ran to the podium when they saw the Dolphins go the other route.
Yeah.
That's the fastest I've seen it happen, too.
I just got a notification that Giants and Browns have trades in place to move back into round one, depending on which prospects are available. So
Really?
Oh, here we go.
again, something like I said, I would love for us to trade back in and grab our quarterback. I don't know if that's Shador. If it is, I'm not mad at it. Getting him at 20 or 18 or 19 as opposed to 3 and still getting, who we got, I'm cool with. At this point, we kind of just have to let it play out a little bit. But them falling just makes life a little bit better for us.
Yeah, it does. I'm interested to see where Shador. I don't know if Shador goes in the first. I think the Steelers take him if anyone's going to take him.
And then we said if
I think he
They'll
drops.
take me second round pick.
yeah, but I said if it's Steelers or second round. Well, I don't want to be that guy, Kevin. Come on, but it's Steelers or that's it too. I'm surprised Jalen Walker's is down here so far. I thought he'd be taken up a lot higher up here. Maybe
Dude, I'm confused.
because Jalen Walker, I mean, plays both with the edge and inside. Like he's a good hybrid backer
Yeah,
here.
he's sliding.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
I mean,
by this.
if I'm Atlanta, I'm amped that he's slipped.
That's what I'm
And,
saying. This is like Atlanta needs to run up faster.
and
than the
same
Colts
with
did.
Arizona, who's after them.
You know, if the Falcons don't do this, then the Cardinals are going to run to the podium and be like, no,
I'm pumped if I'm one of those two.
For who? Sorry, I missed
Jalen
it.
Walker.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still there.
I think this is like the Falcons. Like this is like who you get to help out that defense.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
That's like a perfect because he's a hybrid. Like could be edge, could be inside, played all over that spot.
I mean,
with the Georgia defense.
if you were Atlanta and you wanted an edge here, like, is there even someone you think who's left that's even close to as good as him? I think
Lamar
he's by
Smith,
far
Stewart.
the best.
I would say yes,
Stewart.
Shamar Stewart, or even James Pierce from Tennessee. Maybe not James Pierce from Tennessee. Maybe he'd
Because
be
I
down a
think
little
they need more like a speed than power. Like they need a freak off the edge.
That's why
Yeah.
I
They need someone that can get high upside sacks. Like
That's-
they're
Abdul Carter, you know?
yeah, exactly.
Terrell, you were really pumped about that pick, huh?
Could they go?
I'm just so happy that we did not take Shador with that third pick, bro. I literally would have
Could Atlanta go
bro.
Campbell, Jihad Campbell? Could that be?
Bro, isn't he?
I don't
Doesn't
know.
he have injury?
That's the.
And
I would
it's like
it's one of those two. I would say they would
you
definitely.
could draft a linebacker in the 4th round. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. I think if you get someone on the edge, you get him now.
yeah, and because Walker does both on there, so I think this is like.
I mean, Pierce balled out at the combine. I know you can't do everything based on the combine.
I'd say
but
but like that's another option if you want to go the edge route.
that dude can fly off the edge.
I think you're in a good spot
Like,
with
Walker
Atlanta,
can
'cause-
move around. He can stand. He can go on the.
and Stewart can too. So like
Yeah, I mean,
I-
A&M had a sick defensive line.
Atlanta's in a good spot because you have 3. If they go defense, you have 3 solid.
But I think they
defensive
go
line.
I think they go one of the speed guys with Pierce or
And then you got Arizona, who's like,
Or Walker.
Probably
we'll
will
take
kick
anybody
you.
that you don't want here because like the next 2 picks, like I
Right.
think it's You're gonna get back-to-back edge linebacker guys
They
here.
want a wide receiver. I can see them
Unless-
going golden.
Unless Atlanta goes.
I do. I mean, that would be so Atlanta of them to take a skill player.
It's not like what they did it last year.
They
signed a big-
shouldn't. They should definitely take.
I mean, like,
it was just skill players.
At least it's not like they're a team that signs a big free agent contract and they draft the same position in the first round. Oh, that's right. They did that last year.
It's not a team that cares about controversy at all.
Wesley Burton in the comments here, our in-house Colts fan, said, "Let's fucking go." He looks like he's pumped.
That Warren pick is gonna. I can't get how good that pick was for.
Feed families, so
My guy Frankie Cruz said that Kenneth Grant to Miami, and Daniel said, "Damn Warren to the Colts." Warren, he's a good chunk yardage guy. He's going to get a lot of catches, and he's going to kind of march down the field and move the chains.
Yeah.
I think Walt brought up a good point. I think that's exactly what they need because they are big player busts, and a lot of the times they get stopped because of Anthony Richardson.
And again, they haven't. I don't like. They really haven't had a consistent tight end that they go a good throw to for the tight end. They've been rotating a bunch of tight ends for the past few years now. So I think now you got someone there. So I think this is good for them.
It'd be good for Taylor too, so they don't run 9 in the box because they know their quarterback can't throw.
Yeah. You got to protect Jonathan Taylor too.
You do.
Interesting. So I think Atlanta would be dumb not to take.
You can go get Campbell, Walker, Stewart, Pierce. You can go any of those. I would say Walker, but if
Walker's the pick, man. It has to be.
If they do the other three, I'd be like, all right, but
it's not like they had to go far to scout him.
Right.
Unless the Eagles come in and trade for Jalen Walker, then be freaking
Dude,
pissed.
I'm telling you, they're just like that, man. I hate them so much. You know how hard it is to be in the division with the best front office? It's tough.
Yeah.
Just also want to let everyone who's watching know right now that we're going to be doing a live rip in a little bit.
A rip.
Cards that we're going to be giving away here. We have the brand new Optic boxes that just dropped. We got 2 of them. So we're going to be ripping them live on air. And we're going to give away the hit cards. So make sure you guys are watching and tuned in for that. We got 2 fat packs of Optic. And then we have a hobby pack from Illusions. So all of you card collectors.
Can I get one?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah.
No, everyone can have one except for Franz.
That's okay.
Sorry, buddy.
As long as we get Malachi Starks.
Sean in the comments, love the Saints pick. Sean, what are your thoughts on it? I know obviously you love it, but what's you excited? You got your tackle back?
Yeah, because he wants Derek Carr to be there.
They're protecting Spencer Rattler. That's exciting.
Wesley Burton since Dallas Clark. Well, they lost Kyle Granson, who showed flashes, and then Mo Ali Gigantor.
Well, me and Walt know about Mo Ali Cox when he played against Bonaventure.
Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah,
he was a beast for BCU.
He was their was power forward, right? He was their power forward.
Yeah, he was unguardable.
That guy was literally unreal. And then I saw when was he drafted? Well, did he sign with the Colts? Because I remember seeing him
No, he didn't get drafted.
No, but I remember in a preseason game I saw him wait, is that the guy from VCU? And then I'm like, oh yeah, it is. That guy was an absolute animal.
So looking over here, I know that this is from the beginning we had a trade, but just looking at the draft order here. So right now we're waiting for the Atlanta Falcons. After that, we have the Arizona Cardinals and then the Cincinnati Bengals. This could be a string of defense, but I feel like the Cardinals have addressed defense a lot recently. I think they need somebody across from Marvin Harrison. I wouldn't be shocked if Cardinals go offense, knowing that the Bengals are probably going to go defense. If they go anything other than defense, my goodness. If they go linemen, I guess that's not the end of the world. But I'm curious to see kind of how this shapes up here with some of the other picks that are.
I mean, if I'm Cincy, I'm praying Johnson falls.
Oh yeah.
They need a corner.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, they need a lot of things, but
they need a corner. That's
if they could get, that should be their first round goal. And I could see him falling with these 2 on the clock.
Right.
Atlanta's not taking a corner. Arizona could, but think they're going to.
I mean, we had a couple of picks that are fast here. What's going on here? Now we got some time here.
I know, dude.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like we were making good time here.
Yeah, they have ads to make up, so they're telling them to slow down.
We're extremely impatient people now.
Speaking of ads, appreciate everyone who's watching right now. Make sure you comment, say what's up. Now everything's slowed down. We got all caught up. We've got Walt, we've got Tyrell, two former JDF guys here on the stream, having a good time. So appreciate everyone for showing the love. Make sure that if you're following on YouTube, you show that follow, subscribe. Same thing on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, I see we got a couple people on the Twitch there. So appreciate the love and support. Thank you guys. And yeah, join in the comments. Xavier, what did I miss? Who did the Oilers draft?
Oh,
Tyrell, you good?
dude, is he good?
I couldn't see that because you've been.
What happened there?
Yo, he tried to sit. He tried to sit on the chair with me, and I was top the entire chair over. I almost went face forward into this computer right now, so I was trying to catch my balance, but I couldn't hold in that a little bit of fear there.
Xavier, I know that you're a Colts fan, so the pick 14, they grabbed Tyler Warren. I was watching something. They said that it was a fluke that he was a big offensive piece for Penn State. Curious, what are your thoughts with that? Fonz, Walt, Tyrell, Kearns, anybody?
I mean, from what I was watching, I feel like he was a nightmare matchup. The only problem with being a nightmare matchup is in the NFL, you're no longer a nightmare matchup. So it kind of makes it kind of tough. I was reading something the other day that said his comp was Jeremy Shockey. And as obviously a lifelong Giants fan, you know, that gets you a little bit excited. But it's hard to live up to that expectation. I think his landing spot is good because their coach is offensive minded. So, you know, any coach that's offensive minded and they're making that type of selection, they usually try to make sure that their first round pick is utilized.
The pick is in. I'm sorry, Tyrell.
No, good. No, please.
The pick is in. With the 15th pick in the NFL draft, the Atlanta Falcons have selected Georgia defensive end Jalen Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
What a slide though! At 15, that's
I know.
Yeah.
Why did
I
it take
said
them so long?
I said Panthers would have made sense too, all the way up at 8. I thought.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised he was still there, honestly. So.
But this Atlanta needs like that kind of guy that can play multiple like positions or like be like the hybrid linebacker, inside backer, kind of like that guy can go like run around here. And I think Walker there is a perfect spot, local guy, so that helps out too for the Falcons. They kind of need some help there with that. And then he's fast linebacker too and a fast rusher. So this is good for Atlanta. This is perfect, and I'm surprised it took them this long to get him. If they saw he was available, you should just ran up to the scorecard.
He's quick too. He's got a quick first
Very quick, very quick, very very quick.
I know. I'm so surprised he fell so far.
I think maybe it might also possibly be his size at like 6'1", 240. That maybe could be the case too. That maybe you see a lot of the other linebackers and edge rushers be obviously a little bit taller, but that might have been the case, the reasoning for it. Because we've seen that before too. The size could probably slide some people down. That's why I'm thinking that maybe that was a possibility.
Yeah, I feel like this is a steal for the Falcons, and I think that this is a massive need. Obviously, you know, you're playing against some pretty high-powered offenses there in one of the best divisions in football. Just kidding. But no, it's gonna make guys like Spencer
it's not the
they're gonna be a little bit more nervous. It's gonna take them off their feet, and obviously it's gonna help them to compete with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Baker Mayfield. So difficult matchup playing against Tristan Wirfs, but. Yeah, no, I think that this might be the steal of the draft. I think he slid pretty far at 15. I thought he was going to go top 10.
I mean, they've needed to improve their pass rush for a bit. I mean, they tried addressing it last year, getting Judon. I mean,
Vic Beasley.
Exactly. So
that's a name I haven't heard in a while too.
I mean, they have a defensive-minded head coach. So, I mean, obviously that should benefit him. I think this is going to work out well. I think Atlanta's a huge benefit to him sliding a little bit. It doesn't really surprise me they did that. Remember last year, it took like 16 picks for a defensive player to get drafted. So it's been very noteworthy at the top of a lot of drafts these last couple of years that they're really focusing on offensive players when they've been in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like a defensive lineman falling, like I feel like it's just destined to happen with the priority on the offensive side At least in recent drafts.
Yeah, was it the Colts took that at UCLA? Was it Latu?
Something like that.
Yeah,
I don't remember what his name is.
I think he was the first defensive player taken last year, but great pick for the Atlanta Falcons. Couple of comments here. Dylan said Ziggy. Showing Ziggy some love in the comments here. Everyone loves Ziggy. Ziggy's balls are enormous. Wesley says,
What?
It's true. It's true. If you get it, you get it.
my fantasy team name last year was Ziggy's balls. Is it took the entire clock because the Eagles were on the phone with them trying to persuade them? Probably. I would not be surprised with that at all.
Probably, yeah.
Howie's always looking to get more Georgia Bulldogs. All right, so now we shift focus here to the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals could go.
Oh, what's up, son?
Matthew Golden.
Come here.
Could they do that, or do they go corners or here, or they go with a rusher? Like they could do a couple different things. The Cardinals, I would say, right? Although if they do receiver, I mean, they did it. They did it last year with Marvin Harrison. Are they going to go with another receiver in back-to-back drafts?
Hey, we got Zayd on the screen.
Got a special guest. Say hi, Zayd. Say go Giants. This is his personal locker back here.
That's awesome. But yeah, it's interesting the way the Cardinals are going to go here. Wesley said Seattle replaces Lockett with Buka. Thoughts?
You could do that.
Cup and JSN. And you bring in another Ohio State guy.
Who, Kevin?
Another Ohio State.
No, who was the player?
Ibuka?
JSN? The JSN?
So you back up. Thank you, son. Thank you, sir.
Goodness. He's just a little guy.
Just a little guy, man. Just try to grab the mic.
Will Johnson is sliding here.
That's what. But like,
I bet it'll be Johnson or Golden here.
I think they might go corner. That's why I'm thinking like you can. They have a couple options.
I think they're going Pierce.
You think so?
Yeah.
Really? I can see both, honestly. Honestly, the first round this year has been extremely interesting already. We never really know what's going to happen, so I'm kind of interested to see.
It's always at the late 10s, early 20s. Now you're gonna start getting that like, oh, okay, interesting.
I'm still hoping for a quarterback. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of holding on strong to the end of this first round. I think when we get to that 20s is when we might slide back in and try and grab who we want.
EO said now that little JDF guest probably has the hottest takes. Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely has the hottest takes. He said the Giants had the best pick in the draft. That's what he said. That's his words, not mine.
I don't know. I don't love Walter. I'm curious what your thoughts on Cam Ward.
I mean, he showed he has the big playability to be in the NFL. He has the arm strength to be in the NFL.
Oh, hold on real quick. Sorry, Walt. The pick is in.
Ooh.
The Arizona Cardinals have selected Ole Miss defensive tackle Walter Nolan.
Interesting.
I mean, he was a notable name for D tackles, so you knew he was going to go at a decent early stage. It's just a surprise, like all these picks that you normally, people talk about positional value.
Yeah.
And what you get and what people pay. It's like normally you're not taking these types of players in the first round because you can get some of them later. So it's kind of interesting to see what this first round is kind of panning out to be, which is why they were saying it's going to be a weird, wild first round, and it has been so far, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't expect
the wide receivers aren't going. The cornerbacks aren't going, right? The high-end pick, even the edge rushers.
The flashy players aren't getting picked. Like some, if you and far between.
And you know what this falls right into? It's the same thing that falls into every single year where the Eagles get some stupid great pick that normally in any other year where they were picking 7 would have never landed there. But, of course, because the Eagles have the last pick in the draft, they're going to end up with Malachi Starks.
Fonz.
What's up?
You said they're going to get Malachi Starks.
No, not going to happen. I'm ignoring that. It's not happening. Let's speak it into existence.
I'm praying that you guys do not allow it to happen. I'm praying that you do. Like, please take him.
I would love that. I would love that too. I really would. But even like a lot of people were saying, because I told Kevin this, like Daniel Jeremiah said this best. There's a lot of quality starters but not stars in this draft class.
Yeah.
You're going to get some quality starting players. Maybe some will make a Pro Bowl here and there, but you'll get consistent starters here. You're not going to get like the flashy stars like last year with 6 quarterbacks in the first round. Like you're not going to get that in this draft.
Yeah.
You want to hear an interesting stat? You guys will all enjoy this. In the last 25 drafts since 2000 to 2024, the number 1 overall pick has 7 first-team All-Pros. Do you know who they are?
Wow.
Wait, what year? I'm sorry. What's
In the past 25 drafts, the number 1 overall pick has 7 combined all first team.
Is Myles Garrett one of them?
Myles Garrett's 4 of them.
Holy shit.
Burrow.
No.
Burrow was never
What?
he was a
No,
Pro Bowler.
Oh.
He's a Pro Bowler. If we're doing Pro Bowls, I'll be
Joe Tom. No,
Joe Thomas is not.
he was not number 1.
Who's that? No.
Why do I feel like it's?
Not Jared Goff. Jared Goff never got a first team. Was it? You're talking about just first team, right? Just first team.
Yep.
Stafford?
Nope.
I thought Stafford had at least one. Luck? No, right? Not Luck. Luck's
Not
definitely
Luck.
not. No, it's definitely
Luck.
not.
Cam.
Yes.
Cam.
Cam had
Cam.
1.
Who's that? That 2015 Cam Newton year was magical.
Different.
That was a magical year.
You guys want me to tell you?
No, it's
Yeah,
gonna.
we're done guessing.
Oh God, it's gonna bother. I'm gonna be
Mario
so pissed.
Williams and Jake Long.
Wow.
But I honestly would have not got
That would
that.
never.
Now,
That would
here's
never.
the other
that would
interesting
never happen.
part. The 24th overall pick has 16 first-team All-Pro selections.
There's less pressure picking there. There's
Well,
just
who-
so much less
who, like,
pressure picking.
give
there.
me
You
a
just pick what you want.
Ed
He's the best
Reed
player.
had 5 of them.
Ed Reed was
Dallas
that.
Clark, Aaron Rodgers had 4. Cam Jordan, Chris Johnson had 1. David DeCastro, Des Bryant, and Josh Jacobs.
Wow.
That's a good-
It really is a crapshoot.
It is. Truly is. Which is why whoever we pick in the 20th, in the 20th selection, when we get our quarterback, is probably gonna be a Pro Bowler. I mean, I'm just using that logic. That's all.
So now with the
Solid
Cardinals,
rationalization.
so what are we now? We're now with the Bengals now, right? It's going to be a corner, right?
We are
It's
with the
gonna be-
Bengals now, yes. But
It's a
Walt,
good
I was listening to your take about Cam Ward. What are your thoughts on him? He kind of rose out of nowhere, and then suddenly he's the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
that also speaks a lot to the QB class he was competing with. I mean, when you are the highest upside in a position of need for a team that needs you at that said position, that's going to increase your draft stock a lot. Now, Miami was a great situation for him. I think he really burst onto the scene this past season, and it helped him a lot. But I mean, I don't love Cam Ward. I think if he was in the draft last year, he would have been the 4th overall pick. I mean,
Fourth overall pick?
I don't think I would not have taken him over Drake May. I would have taken him over Jalen Daniels.
As a whole. So
Would you take him
he
over
still would have
Michael
been there.
Penix?
He still would have been that high.
Yes.
Just not. Okay, I get you.
I mean, I think he'd be 4th of 4 if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fourth,
Um,
yeah.
So I think he's really good. I think the situation though helped him a lot with Tennessee needing him, and then because there hasn't even been a quarterback taken since. We're 17 picks in.
Yeah.
I mean, the class helped him a lot.
I think it did too. And I know that we had some technical difficulties, so we weren't live for. The pick is in.
Oh, pick us in.
The pick is in.
If they get another wide receiver, I'm gonna lose my.
Bengals have selected Texas A&M defensive end Shamar Stewart.
That's a great
Hey,
That's good.
I like that.
I actually do like
Hey.
that for
They
them.
finally made a smart
because you
move.
can move him around.
Wait, they got a defensive guy? What? Wait.
Wait.
See, I thought they were going to want a guy like Nolan because he can, from the interior, get sacks.
Yeah.
But I still think this is a great pick because you can move him around. I mean, obviously they're not. I don't see them doing some crazy multi-front defense this early on because their defense sucks, but he can move around
He's
for a team that needs help on the defensive line.
And he'll at least compliment Trey Hendrickson if they can figure that situation out.
If he
too.
shows up, yeah.
a good athlete that can play like really kind of, you can line him up anywhere on the line too. I think it's, like you said, a good kind of way to start off kind of rebuilding that horrible defense from the ground up. And this is kind of a good guy you put on there too. And I got to deal with him twice a year too because he's going to be a stud. He's going to somehow beat the Ravens and have like 10 sacks every single time. It's going to happen. I already know it. I'm preparing.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And now you know how it feels to be a Giants fan watching Eagles just get picks that they don't deserve.
Like I wanted the Ravens to get T. Higgins a few years ago, and of course, second round, first pick, the Bengals got T. Higgins.
The thing with Stewart is he's not like a huge sack guy.
Yeah.
Like I think he had 4.5 in 3 years.
Yeah, like
I think
this past
he's an absolute tank.
This dude only had this past season only had 1.5, and you said
no,
3.
I know he's not a sack guy.
Yeah, like he will get.
So if your Ravens give up 10 sacks to him, that's a huge problem.
Well, that's probably what's going to happen too. Yeah, it's going to happen. Naturally, it will probably happen too. But no, he is fast. And he gets off the ball quick. He just doesn't get the sack, so I guess he's just good at kind of just being there, like the presence of having him there.
He's got all the physical tools. He just needs to kind of add more to his actual pass rush.
Literally 6'5", 267. Pretty big guy.
Not as big as me, but.
Oh, whoa. Hey, yo.
There's a lot of pressure, and it's obviously needed because you need someone that's going to be able to help contain Lamar Jackson. Whatever the Steelers are going to do with the quarterback position, you need some pressure.
And whatever Cleveland does to the quarterback position.
And then whatever Cleveland does to the quarterback position. But, I think that this is great. I think the Bengals, everyone knows my takes and how I've been feeling about the Jamar Chase stuff and the T. Higgins stuff, and I've had my opinions on it, but I think that this just helps. This is a big move by the Bengals. I love it. I'm glad that they address defense. The next 3 or 4 picks need to be defense.
And the cornerback class is pretty solid. Like you can wait in the second, third round kind of.
And that's what I'm saying. At this point, it's like,
but the
edges get
edges,
some value late.
There's a lot of edges flying off the board. You might as well just get the best available one at this point now.
I agree. All right, the Seahawks are on the clock. What do we think the Seahawks are going to do here?
Shador Sanders.
I think they go receiver.
No, they're good.
I can see them go receiver.
Yeah,
they got it.
Golden now that he's still here.
Golden? Do they do Golden?
Golden's the only one that makes sense. That a Mecca Boku, whatever his name is. They already have JSN, right? And JSN is in the mold of slot receiver that can be your alpha, but is a slot receiver. So you need someone to kind of pair with him a little bit. So kind of see where they go. You got to give Sam Darnold some weapons, right? You just paid him.
I would say Golden. I mean, I'm looking at the other ones available. Like you got
They should definitely go for someone's speed over if they can get someone to get down the field on the outside on the edge. I think they should do it
because usually like receivers
that
are
dude
left.
Can fly.
Burden, Golden. You got Jaden Higgins also. You got Ibuka from Ohio State. So like you have some options, but I would say Golden's the best one out of the bunch for that scheme wise. The speed guy to kind of go with them too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Golden makes the most sense. You obviously have to replace a guy like a DK Metcalf.
How tall is he? How tall is Golden?
5'11".
5'10", 5'11".
Yeah.
Well, like they look at defense. They don't really need corner right now because they have Witherspoon and Reek Woolen. Like they're pretty good at that spot. They're good at the safeties. They're good at They could upgrade the backer spot, but they can wait. I would say defensive line. You kind of can wait. So it's like. There's not like a dire they need to fill up this position. Like
they could up
is the best on the board right now. And I don't know, maybe with McDaniel being there in his second year, maybe he wants to address.
He is a defensive guy. So Campbell could also make sense. But again, they're in a good spot where they're not in like a dire need where they need to fix something now.
Darnold had a lot of success last year. He was surrounded by obviously a Justin Jefferson and a Jordan Addison. So I mean. Do they add more help around Sam Darnold, or do they address their defense? I think that they can kind of go anywhere here, and then it sort of shapes everything up a little bit when we look here at the draft order. So following Seattle, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are probably going to address the defensive side of the ball. Will Johnson would be a great addition.
I think that would be that's perfect. The Buccaneers are hoping that someone doesn't trade up though at 19 because that also could be a possibility too.
And then I'm curious what the Broncos do. I'm curious if they go defense. I mean,
I think they go. I think the Broncos. That's where Hampton gets picked.
Yeah, I think Hampton's going
Hampton's
Broncos.
going there.
And then after that,
That's a good landing spot is going to get.
I think if I could see Denver trading out if someone wants Shador. Because Steelers are right after. Steelers are right after.
What
Yeah.
else?
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think they are going to be traded out. Whether the Browns go there or the Giants go there, I think the Steelers are going to get jumps. Or you know what? Sometimes the Steelers might say, you know what? Let me move up one spot, make sure I get my guy, and not even take that risk. You know?
Yeah.
Of being jumps.
That could be a possibility for sure.
Well, also, Knicks won tonight just now. Nobody's talking about it. It's okay. No one's talking about the Mets. but that's
Nobody
here.
cares. You're getting
My
swept.
God,
in the
no one
next
cares.
round.
It's fine. Listen, Mets best record in baseball. No one cares about that
Fonz,
too.
you literally told me earlier
Ew.
today that the Mets didn't need Juan Soto.
I didn't say that, dude. What are you talking about? I said you could make a case because how they're playing right now, but once Soto
No,
wakes
you said
up,
that you're over Soto. You didn't need him. Lindor's better, and the pick is in.
you're such.
It's true.
He's such a Lindor's good, by the way. So that, we're talking.
The Seahawks with the number 19 pick have selected North Dakota State offensive lineman Gray Zabel.
Interesting.
That is.
So
I mean, they could have.
This draft is so weird, bro.
That's another case where, like, again, it wasn't a dire need, but they did need help in the interior offensive line spot for Gray Zabel from North Dakota State. 6'6", 312. I mean, this big, powerful guy, but from a small school, so it could be kind of a big transition going from North Dakota State to the NFL level. But I'm just kind of shocked they went that route. But again, it's a case with Seattle where they didn't they had to pick somebody just for a team need. I guess that was their best available player. So it's interesting selection for them.
I mean, they shore up the offensive line a little bit more. Keep Sam.
Yeah, I don't. Again, no, I don't hate it. I don't hate this pick for Seattle. I don't.
He had a really good combine. He slid up the boards.
That's because like, you know, with the small school, like you're thinking like, how's this going to work? And then it was one of those cases where the combine, you know, helped him out too. Like this guy is like a big, powerful, like interior lineman, which again, I think with Seattle could definitely help out.
I mean, for Seattle too, that has multiple needs. I mean, I don't recommend doing this throughout his career, but like he has the versatility to play in multiple because he played tackle in college.
Yeah, he played.
So like he can move around a little bit for a team that does have the need at multiple positions right now on the line.
Yeah,
Let me take you back to mommy.
and definitely helps in the run game too, which I think Seattle kind of wants to bring back, kind of building that run game a little bit more too. So good run blocker, good pass protector, play tackle
Because he played left tackle, at North Dakota State.
but also can play guard too. Has a lot of versatility. Could definitely. I think he did. Did he do combine stuff also as a guard though? That's why he's listed as a guard here. Like he's done both. Like he's done everything on there.
I think he'll play guard,
Mhm.
but he played tackle in college.
It's a good option to have if like your starting tackles are out. You know that hey, we have somebody who's literally played tackle. We don't have to teach him. Like he knows how to play tackle.
We got Newt in the comments here. Newt said he's still here. Newt, are you feeling Shador if nobody jumps over you guys?
Who is the Steelers quarterback? Is it Mason Rudolph? Like
Mason
who's
Rudolph.
That's it.
Yeah,
And Skylar Thompson.
Ew.
it has to
Yeah.
be Shador.
Yeah, I guess Shador Sand. Please, I really him and Mike Tomlin is going to be great.
Watch, breaking news, Rodgers signs.
Oh my god. Yeah, Rogers. Kearns is figuring out his microphone here, but yeah, he said the other option. It would have been Rogers for sure. So, Newt, how are you feeling about this right now? Are you excited that he could drop?
So we have no other corners outside of Hunter going here. Is this still the Buccaneers? Do they go with Will Johnson here?
I feel like you have to.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
Because like that's a need for Tampa, I would say, at least on the defensive side, kind of help out because a lot of their secondary, a lot of them leave after free agency. They always have replacements there, so you gotta want to have someone consistent now. So I would think Will Johnson would be the spot here.
He's slipping too. I'm surprised.
Him, Walker. This like we've all said it. This draft's being very weird. Where we're getting a lot of quality players, but we didn't think they would be in these spots.
Okay, should be good now.
All right, yeah, we can hear you. right. So we got Craig Zabel. Interesting. He started all 12 games in 2024. He only allowed 1 sack. He's a strong anchor, effective run blocker, and he's got a high football IQ. The competition, obviously, from anybody coming out of North Dakota State, it's always a little questionable to see how he can translate. So
Right.
That's the one thing. But again, he did so well in the combine that, like, you know what? There's a reason why, you know.
Yeah.
We've all said it too. Play tackle in college, he's going to play guard, but he can also have the ability, if they lose someone in the tackle spot, he can swap in there and plug and play, no problem. So
He's got that experience of playing multiple positions.
No, I don't hate this pick either for Seattle. It's just shocked because you think they would go other routes too, because they really can. Seattle.
Curious what Tampa's going to do.
If they don't do corner, what's another need? Because
I mean, Levante David's retiring soon. Maybe you go after a guy
Campbell.
like Campbell.
Campbell learning from Levante David. That actually would be.
Yeah, but they got to take a corner here.
If it's like what do they need now? Yeah, I mean, now I'm thinking about it. I wouldn't hate if they went Campbell. So I would say Will Johnson or Jihad Campbell. They would do. It's got to be someone on the defensive side, though, no doubt. I would say because offense they're pretty set. I would say, you know, back receivers and then the linemen. You know,
I feel like we're going to have a string of wide receivers that are going to get taken soon. When we're looking here at the draft order, the Texans are definitely a lock to go offensive linemen. But if the Chargers and Packers stay in their position, I could see the Chargers and Packers both going wide receiver.
Oh, pick is it? Wow.
The pick is in.
Wow. The Buccaneers have selected Ohio State wide receiver Emeka Egbuka.
that's interesting.
Wow.
Did not see that one coming.
Didn't expect
Wow,
that.
I didn't see that coming. I really wanted the Patriots to grab him.
Wow.
So is he going to be their receiver 3?
They might not.
McMillan also played pretty well last year.
That's what I thought. That was their. It was Evans.
That's tough.
Evans, Godwin, McMillan, right? McMillan. That's his
Sterling
first name.
Shepard.
Is it? Wait, maybe because like Godwin's coming back from an injury. Maybe they're not
That's
sure about him.
crazy.
Maybe they're not sure about him.
But why
yet.
would you
Well, then
resign him
why
to
pay
that
him? Why
deal?
pay him? Right,
And
why
he took
pay him?
less
Oh, yeah,
money to
that's-
stay with the Buccaneers
that's
than he would have
right,
with
yeah.
the Patriots.
Kevin, does that mean they're not moving on from Mike Evans, right? That's insane.
Imagine.
He's not a Mike Evans replacement.
That would
That's
be crazy.
Yeah, because Ibuka's more of a. Would you say?
A slot guy.
Yeah. So maybe they'll do the 4 receivers. I mean, that wasn't a need.
That's
I literally just.
crowded
They had
row.
4 receivers.
I
That is
literally
crazy.
just said they got to go defense. They're good on the offensive side, backs and receivers. They're pretty much set there. And look at that. I guess they're not because Ibuka's a good receiver. Don't get me wrong. I just thought he was surprised he's taken before a Golden here or
Walt, what do you
Burden
think?
from Missouri.
I mean, I don't hate the pick because I think Baker's going to get him the football, whether he's the 1 or the 3. I mean, that offense involves a lot of individuals.
Yeah,
I don't see that being a major need with those 2 under contract for the long term. So, like the player, I still think he'll be involved. How involved early, we'll see.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the guy can play, and you're always in need of receivers in this league, but I don't think this
I don't love it at all.
was the best pick for number 9.
They're just not going to run the ball. They're just not going to run it now because
Yeah.
I know they have Bucky Irving, but he can be like he's done a lot of
I love
receiving
Bucky
stuff
Irving.
too. So they're just gonna no running plays at all, just all passing.
Yeah.
That's
tough.
That's shocking.
Hey,
It's-
Baker Mayfield gets help there a little bit, but other than that, that's tough.
No, that definitely helps up. I'm sure Baker loves it. Gets another weapon on offense too. I'm just really shocked that Will Johnson's dropping this low because at 20, I don't know if the Broncos you go Hampton here because that's the thing you always go with for them. They always had problems with the running back. They haven't really had one. So do they do Omari and Hampton? I think that's what I would say is the big go here for them.
Yeah. Probably Hampton. I mean, Did they go and pick up Golden now, or did they focus on defense? Now that I'm sure they didn't think Johnson was going to fall this far.
Yeah, but they already have Surtain. I mean, no, they could do it.
Dude, a Will Johnson Surtain would feed family.
Who's the second?
For real.
Who's the second corner behind Surtain in Denver?
Exactly.
I thought I don't know why I thought it was someone.
No, they have a good one. They have a good one. He was a younger player.
I forgot his name, but
I'm wondering if Hampton.
I hope they take Starks just to piss Fonz off.
Oh, fuck off.
That'd be great. And oddly enough, it would make sense.
It would make
it actually
I think
would
it'd
make
be a
sense.
great pick.
But I really think my guess would be Hampton. I know people don't like running backs in the first round, but that's a need Denver's had. They needed for a while.
Agreed.
They have Jonathan Cooper, Jonah Ellis, and Damari Mathis are their corners.
So they can still go corner.
They could still go corner. I mean, do they do like will they go
Will
best
Johnson
player?
and Pat Surtain, my goodness.
That would be.
Dude, that's what I'm saying,
That's a
dude.
crazy
Bro,
duo.
that was probably a pipe dream going into this.
All them to get blown up by the Chiefs because they're gonna end up winning it again. So it doesn't matter, right, everybody?
No.
Hey, you're not wrong, but that's not the point. All right, all you can do
Giants are gonna win
is get better as a team.
The Giants are going to
Now we get to see if Shador goes to the Steelers at 21, or if he just doesn't make it out of into the first round at all.
This is crazy. Shador's not at the draft, is he? Oh, no.
He's there. Oh, he's there.
I know Hunter was at the draft, but I just didn't know Shador was.
Hunter is no longer at the draft.
Well, I'm saying,
he's gone.
I'm saying at like the invites there too. I know.
No, I know you're.
Yeah.
Jokes.
It's fun. Well, imagine getting invited, but I'm gonna be like a top 2 pick. Like, do you like just sit down and relax like the whole time? You're like, no, I'm gonna be getting up here in like 10 minutes anyways.
Or then or you're like Jalen Milroe who takes that invite, and you know what? I could respect Jalen Milroe taking that invite because he said straight up, he said, I don't care if I go first round, second round, wherever. He's like, when you don't get that experience to go sit at the draft.
That's
right?
true.
And sit in the draft.
It looked nice.
Dude, it's like you take the experience, bro. If you get invited by the NFL, you know what? That's an honor in itself. Some people have pride, some people don't, or don't have that sense of pride where. When you're sitting there and those cameras are on you at the end, how do you feel about
enjoy
it? Right?
it.
So
enjoy it.
I can also fuel you later. It helps to fuel.
The old draft rooms was just like kind of like small lunch tables and like with curtains and everything. Now they got like giant couches, fancy rugs, and coffee tables. Like I don't blame Milroe for being there. He's like if he probably like second, third round, but he's like I'm chilling here. A free meal, like with my family's here, we're hanging out. Like whatever happens.
Yeah.
But Hunter's probably just go by himself. But I'm going to be leaving in 10 minutes. It doesn't matter anyways.
All right. So we have the Denver Broncos, and then after that, we're going to be moving on to the Steelers, who I would really be shocked if they went anything other than quarterback. I think Chargers are going to address the offensive side of the ball, but I mean, they lost to Asante Samuel Jr. Could Will Johnson fall to his boy Jim Harbaugh?
Where did this? I mean, that also could be for. But did Asante Samuel sign anywhere? I don't think he. That's crazy. I thought he was.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
You can see what this is. Denver has a lot of good options to go here.
EOS in the comments. The Chiefs cannot get this year. They were barely on last year, carried by the refs. That's my girl.
Yeah, dude. The crazy part is I got a notification right before that pick that the Giants were the real reason they were looking to trade up was actually for Emeka Egbuka.
Really?
Yeah.
For the Giants.
So they said that
for the Giants.
Yeah, so they said that the rush to jump up doesn't matter, and they don't care who the Steelers take because they still have 3 quarterbacks that they like.
Interesting.
I know. I don't know. Do you think the Patriots are done for the night?
Yeah. I would be shocked if they move back in. I think there's enough wide receiver talent that there's no need to jump right now. I mean, Matthew Golden's still there, but I don't think you get past a team like the Chargers or
Golden to the Chargers they feel like they would do that too.
I feel like that Will Johnson connection with Harbaugh would be huge for the Chargers.
Yeah.
Interesting to see kind of what happens right now with the Broncos, though, because I love that Will Johnson Pat Surtain duo, but I feel like Hampton might be a really good pick, or the guy from Iowa State. What's his name? The running back.
That's what I was talking about. That's why I couldn't remember.
Not Caleb Johnson. Am I thinking?
Yeah, Caleb
That's
Johnson.
Iowa.
Caleb Johnson.
No,
Yeah,
I thought Caleb was.
that's
I thought Caleb was Iowa. That's why I'm.
Oh, he is Iowa, yeah.
Who was
I
Iowa?
think-
Wow.
Are you talking about Ohio?
I think that's what you're
I'm
thinking
sorry.
of.
Did you say Ohio State or Iowa State?
Iowa State.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about.
Okay, because you're saying I thought you said Ohio State too. Because I'm like, there's also Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. Not I said Jenkins before.
Take us in.
Oh boy.
The pick is in. Kearns, take it away, my boy.
Broncos are selecting Texas cornerback Jahdae Barron.
Okay.
Ooh. I like that pick.
I thought,
like that
I thought you said quarterback for a second. I'm like, huh?
Quinn Ewers.
Corner.
You know, I mean, so there's got to be something with Will Johnson because he was the best ranked corner.
I
Corner
know.
with
Injured last
Barron.
year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Who Jahadi Barron?
No, Will Johnson. Was he not injured last year?
I thought it was not it was somebody else. It wasn't him though. I thought he was healthy. Will Johnson.
Walt, was he injured last year?
I don't think he was injured. I mean,
No.
I didn't watch all their games. They weren't as good as I thought they were going to be, but
I know there were
I
some
don't
questions about his
remember
support in
him
the run game
being
and stuff. But
that being a reason why he could fall. I thought he'd be gone by now.
Yeah, that's interesting. He's slipping. And Jihad, too. Huh.
Yeah.
A
Sorry, like I said,
linebacker
everyone-
doesn't
everyone says
surprise
it'd be a
me as
very
much. A
interesting
corner
draft.
does.
yeah.
Yeah, linebackers you would
Because
just
teams
sometimes.
are going 3-4 deep at receiver.
Yeah,
Like, you
linebacker.
think they would respond defensively.
You see, like sometimes they would just get like 2 linebackers be taken in the top of the draft if need be, then the rest of them be taken like past round 2. That's what the corners is like consistently top 10,
They're taking-
mid, late first, early second.
It's positional value. That's what it is. It's like,
Wow.
dude, because at the end of the day, you always end up having to pay your
You're-
corners a lot, your wide receivers a lot, right? Your tackles a lot,
Yeah,
your quarterbacks a lot. So you try and take them in the first round, you get 5 years out of them where you're not paying those, and you hope that, so it's like clearly no one cared this year.
you're getting a lot of best available with these teams. I feel like you're
Yeah.
getting a lot of just best available.
Very, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting draft.
So
far. And
yeah,
like
I thought
said,
Hampton would go, but like now Pittsburgh's here. Should
they could take Hampton, and it wouldn't surprise
that's
me
what
either.
I'm saying. Hampton actually would make sense in
I
Pittsburgh.
like Derek Harmon for the Steelers.
Dude, they could also go Malachi Starks. No, I'm kidding. Well, but Johnson could make some sense.
I would be
Johnson
so
makes
mad if the Steelers got Malachi Starks. That would be my worst nightmare.
Right across from the sleigh.
Oh man. Well, they
Dude, it would be
Minka,
nuts.
Minka Fitzpatrick and Malachi Starks. That actually also would probably feed families. Also,
Nuts. Dude, I'm getting just so eerily scared of the Eagles and all these players dropping. Like, I literally hate them.
the Eagles are gonna get
Core.
the Eagles are gonna get Golden for some reason.
Dude,
They're
it's gonna be
watch.
nuts, bro. It's like they're gonna end up with a great player because all these this draft is so
I
weird
mean,
this year.
If they want to draft Golden and then send us AJ Brown, I wouldn't be mad.
It's not about you guys right now, Fitz. I mean, it's not about you right now, guys. Right? It's about,
Somehow gets its way back involving the Patriots.
Yep, always.
Oh yeah, Mr. Malachi Starks over here to the Ravens.
It might not happen.
All right, Newt, if you're watching, how you feeling right now, man?
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't think they're taking Shador.
That would be
Yeah, I don't think they are either.
Shador,
I feel like there'd be cameras on him. They'd all be cheering. Like, I don't think they're taking Shador.
Shador on CBS Sports, his pro comparison is Geno Smith. That's interesting.
Ew.
I was like, Cam Ward's is Jordan Love.
oh,
I don't know why I like reading the draft comparisons of players. I'm thinking like
Me too.
I either go like, or yeah, that makes sense.
my exact reaction is right now. I was like, oh, yeah.
Jalen
Like, really, that's
Milrose,
that,
by the way, is Jalen Hurts. I don't know how I feel about that one.
I don't
And
agree with that.
they said Jalen Hurts with speed. I'm like, all right, well,
I'll take it.
If that was the case, he would have gone
Give them to
second
me
to
then. I would-
Cleveland.
Yeah.
He would have been he would have
Yeah,
been
if he was
first.
that good, he'd be a Brown right now. Heck,
God,
he could be a Titan right now if he was that good.
but here's the thing: if Jalen Hurts was considered Jalen Hurts when he was taken, he wouldn't have been taken where he was taken either.
My
That is
guy,
true. But if they're comparing him to him now, I think you're like it's not like you're
But
looking.
that doesn't change his prospect, right? So if Jalen Hurts was Jalen Hurts' prospect back then, he was a 4th round pick. You're still going to have a similar grade on him because he still needs the same work and would have to, get better. And you don't know. You're kind of hoping that he kind of gets to that point, I think. But I agree. I just don't see the Steelers going Shedeur Sanders.
I don't think they're.
And
I think the TV'd be all over it right now.
Yeah.
the pick is in.
Da,
Pick
da, da,
is
da.
in. The Pittsburgh Steelers are selecting defensive tackle Derek Harmon out of Oregon.
Whoa, you got that.
Wow. I actually think that's a fantastic. Wayne, he's going to fit the Steelers really well. Again, they don't have a great quarterback situation. We'll have to see where that goes. But he is a tank on the interior of the line, and he can rush the passer. No, he's a really good defensive lineman. I think he's Cam Hayward. He hasn't retired yet, but he's someone I could see Cam Hayward passing the torch to.
He's still there.
Does Shedeur go second?
Shedeur might go because unless someone trades back up, because like Chargers no, Packers no, Vikings no, Texans no. We said earlier, if the Rams stick with it, maybe, but like I don't know
at this point.
Yeah, like then you got Baltimore, Detroit, Washington, Buffalo. Yeah, there's no.
Yeah, if the Rams are going to have Stafford for one more year, they might as well just see what they can do. I don't see them being like, oh, you have to develop someone or worry about that.
Yeah, I was thinking like that's if any of them, but like I don't like.
You'd have to come via trade, but like you'd have to be trading in front of preventing someone else from getting them.
Right.
Comment here, my guy Jake St. Pierre said, "I wish the Broncos traded down." Jake, I'm curious why you say that.
Well, you really did.
How we
You
feeling?
nailed it. Well, you nailed it with the Derek Harmon pick, too. I honestly didn't even think about it, and I'm reading about it. I'm like, yeah, that actually he would fit.
Well, I mocked him. I mean, a little bit going to like I thought he'd be perfect for Seattle because of McDaniel.
Yeah, any like those.
But like I just think when you look at the potential for Watt to leave the team, the eventual retirement of Cam Hayward, defensive line. I didn't think Shedeur would still be here by now. I'm surprised they passed on Shedeur. Wish Shedeur still.
You know what's interesting?
I thought Shedeur would be like.
But I think this is a spectacular pick for what the Steelers like to do on their defensive.
Here's an interesting take. The Steelers don't have a 2nd-round pick.
Really traded.
Wow.
What was the pick?
I forgot about that.
Why? Was it for DK?
No, I think that was the DK trade.
It might have been a DK trade.
I think it was a DK trade.
Well, I don't know any other trade they made.
Unless it was from a couple of years ago.
Unless, it was a draft pick trade, but like a draft day trade where they moved up. But I just don't recall that happening.
Newt, if you're here, let us know. He said WTF. He's not happy. Newt,
I don't agree with them taking over Shedeur, but I think he is a great. He is a Steeler. Like he's going to be really, really good. But if Shedeur is good, it looks stupid if he ends up being.
What was Seattle's 2nd-round pick? It was 52 technically. Now it's Seattle. It's Seattle's a DK Metcalf trade.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Number 52. Yeah, it was the Pittsburgh trade 2nd and 7th rounder this year in exchange for a 6th rounder and DK Metcalf. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so they would either trade up if they wanted to get Shedeur. I also read another stat that the last quarterback to go in the first 3 picks of the 2nd round was Drew Brees. So that's an interesting fact.
So we go look at the 2nd round, the first couple of picks. Yeah, Browns, Giants, Titans obviously not going to do that.
Yeah.
Browns again, Raiders, Patriots.
Who opens tomorrow?
It's Cleveland, New York, Tennessee, then Cleveland again.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if any of those guys are going to go quarterback.
And
I think Cleveland will.
And that second Cleveland
has 2 picks in the
Imagine
top.
Shedeur.
That was the Jaguars. That was the Jaguars pick.
Oh, that was the Jaguars pick. That's right. I was going to say Shedeur with Travis Hunter, but yeah, that's absolutely right. Huh.
I mean,
What
the
do Chargers do? Well, I think Will Johnson's a no-brainer here.
Will Johnson, or if they do,
We said that before.
I think I know they're going to go. I think they should do defense, but if they were to do offense, I think Golden wouldn't surprise me too, because I feel like that'd be a good speed guy to kind of go with Herbert and next to Lad McConkey. I know like that would be kind of like an interesting receiver duo. They could do that too, but I think Will Johnson would. That's like the perfect sense right there. I would say at the corner spot.
Yeah, I'm curious to see because after the Chargers, we have the Green Bay Packers who could go wide receiver. Or
I don't
if
know.
Johnson slips, could the Packers take?
Yeah, because they're thinking of moving. Was they thinking of moving Jair Alexander?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's no way Green Bay is not taking a wide receiver in the first.
No, but yeah, they have a lot of.
No, they want. They don't. They didn't get anybody in free agency. They tried for a couple of different guys. They want a true number
But they do this every year.
But Kevin, the last like 3 drafts, they drafted 3 wide receivers per draft, so they have like a bunch of stockpiled receivers from the past 2 drafts. I don't think they're going to spend a first round pick.
They have a bunch of 3s and 2s.
They literally like look at the past 2 drafts they've done. Like they're second to like 7 round pick. Like, they've had 3 wide receivers to each of those drafts. The past 2-3 of them.
Well, after that. I don't think the Texans go wide. The Vikings don't go wide receiver. Absolutely not. The Texans don't go wide receiver because they have Nico Collins. They just
Minnesota would love for a corner to fall to them.
They would. The Rams, I don't think go wide receiver. The Ravens, I think that there's other needs. I don't think the Lions go wide receiver. I don't know if the Commanders do. The Bills could again.
The Commanders. No, they got Debo.
No, they won't. They got Debo.
I forgot they got Debo.
I'm just thinking here as a Patriot fan, like, are we gonna get Matthew Golden? I would be pumped if we got Matthew Golden.
Wouldn't be mad.
I think we get Luther Burden.
Yeah. But isn't he more of a slot guy?
No.
No.
He's like a physical outside receiver.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I mean him and Diggs, that would be great. I like the speed of Golden.
I do too, but I don't think he falls. We have like the 6th pick in the, or what pick do we have in the?
What was it, Fonz?
I think it's 6.
I didn't say anything.
No.
What pick do the Patriots have in the 2nd round?
Yeah, you were listening up the picks earlier.
Oh, in the 2nd round. Oh yeah, let me get back. Let me pull them up. Sorry. I'll do that order again. So it's Cleveland, Giants, Titans, Browns, Raiders, Patriots, Bears.
Yeah,
Saints.
I don't think Golden falls.
Then you got Saints at 40, Bears 41, Jets 42. Patriots, you're not when you got 38, but like still like then after that, yeah, you got a lot of like the Falcons, Cardinals, Colts, Cowboys, Seahawks, 2 Seahawks picks back to back actually. So like yeah, I think who loves the NFL draft, huh?
Who loves the NFL draft?
Draft has been weird.
Yeah, it's a weird draft. It's a weird draft. Who's gonna pick? Come on, let's go. Let's get the pick. I love day 3 of the NFL draft where just picks just flying. Like boom, 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 boom,
Yeah,
boom.
you can't even keep up.
I love that.
Chargers are thinking here. I would be shocked if they passed on Will Johnson. Because he was Harbaugh's guy.
Well, I mean, Kevin, the trend this whole day was, or the whole
Passing
draft.
Will Johnson.
No, that also like you can't pass on this guy. You can't pass on this guy. And everybody's passed on Golden, on Jalen Walker earlier. Like people just passing on a bunch of players right now.
If you guys are watching in the comments, make sure to say what's up. Let us know your thoughts. Give us your grades. What picks you like, what picks you not like. We will go as long as you guys are here. All right. Chargers could go offense.
They could definitely go Golden, but I would suck for Lad McConkey.
Would it? I mean, it's just. I think Ladd would still be the number 1.
I mean, they get someone to go over the top for an offense that is.
Yeah, get rid of Quentin Johnston, whatever, Stonehands.
Oh, their outside receivers suck.
I mean, for all the years that Bill Belichick traded down, can the football gods bless us if we trade up for once?
No, you sold Brady.
I don't think there's any reason to trade up for the Patriots. Like, there's not someone I'm dying to get at 20. What?
Yeah, I'm at the point
now.
where I also don't even want to trade up as a Giants fan. I'm like, you know what? Let's just let it
keep
fall,
your
man.
picks. Yeah.
It all happened.
Or like if I only have to get up like a 4th and we already have 2/3, fine, I'll do that to get like that 5th-year option on a quarterback. But other than that, you know.
Is the pick in yet?
Not yet.
I haven't seen anything.
Walter, you watching the ESPN draft?
I have dogs all over.
Yeah, I mean,
Where are
I'm
they
on
at?
I'm on YouTube TV, and this thing is so behind.
Is it really?
Like the clock just hit 0. The pick is in. Okay, I'm
For the
seeing the pick
Chargers?
is in now. Yeah.
Yeah, for the Chargers.
Because then I see that now.
Okay, so I think we're actually all in the same stream.
I'm not on a stream actually. I'm following.
I'm on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter. I have ESPN and NFL pulled up.
What the hell is Wow, so they have picked. Never mind. They're not trading it.
I keep losing one headphone.
Tell me about them Pokemon cards. What Pokemon cards? I'll talk Pokemon cards all day.
I like the Twitter's so funny because Shador Sanders tweeted, "I'm built for whatever today may bring," and someone replied, "What about tomorrow?" Every time Shador tweets something, people respond to stuff like that. So remember, because he just posts a bunch of quotes all the time. Just what about? Honestly, Twitter's hilarious for this stuff. What about tomorrow?
No, but NBA news: Golden State. Jimmy Butler has been diagnosed with a deep glute muscle contusion.
You heard his
status
butt
for Game 3. Yep, you heard his butt.
Sick.
He's all butthurt.
So does that mean he's gonna play or?
I don't think so. Jason
what?
Tatum's out. Doubtful,
I mean,
at least.
Nah, you know.
They don't
They don't
need him
need
to
it.
beat the Magic.
Yeah, yeah. Kearns, are you? Kearns said, sit him the rest of the series. Kearns is just chilling.
I'm just chilling. My AirPods died. Well, Kevin's AirPods.
My AirPods died. We had some technical difficulties beginning of the show. We couldn't get any of the microphones to work. A whole new setup from our old setup that we used to run here, but we're making do. We're pushing through. I don't know what's going on here with the Chargers. And the Chargers have selected. Wow! The pick is in. The Chargers have selected North Carolina running back Omarion Hampton.
That.
Identity pick.
Omarion Hampton and Najee
He is
Harris.
perfect for that offense. I didn't think he'd go this early.
They literally last year went J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, cut them both. Like, yeah, this isn't working out. Najee Harris and Omarion Hampton. This is just like the best available prospect or player at this point.
Is it?
I mean,
Not overall. I think he's Harbaugh. He's going to be awesome in that offense.
Harbaugh just wants
In
to
between the tackles, just beat the shit out of people. Get into the second and third level of defenses. He's going to be hard to take down. I mean, that's just his playing style. But I think he fits in that offense because they proved last year their willingness to want to run in between the tackles and play that dirty brand of football.
I'm shocked.
I mean, he fits what it doesn't surprise. It's earlier than I thought he'd be, but if he's going to go this early, he went to a team that perfectly fits what he does.
Yeah, Harbaugh loves to pound the rock. But him and Najee Harris together, that's an interesting duo.
I mean, I don't think Najee – I mean, I think Najee's good, but, like, I didn't think they could go into the year expecting him to be the full-time back.
They tried it with
especially with the way they want to play.
Is it weird
they're
that I
gonna
was
be-
oddly hoping that we'd get Hampton in the second round?
Oh, I think the Giants would – I think he'd be awesome. He could play for any team in the league. I think
Hampton.
he's that
You
good.
know about Hampton, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Quinshawn Judkins, too, Kern said.
Yeah.
No, but I liked Hampton above them all.
He's this class's JT.
Oh, that's a good comparison.
I think JT's better.
Well, Omarion Hampton's CBS comparison is Brian Robinson Jr. from the Commanders.
Okay, that's not. I mean, I think he's better than
Yeah,
that. But that's
Ashton
not
Jen-
a bad play style. Yes, I
Ashton Genty's comparison was Marshawn
Oh.
Lynch.
I disagree with that. I admit Lynch is.
We have a trade alert.
Not gonna.
What's the trade? Oh,
Oh, no, I apologize. They're getting
With who?
calls. I apologize. They're getting calls right now.
No, well,
Oh, Green Bay trades out at home.
also, if anyone's curious, Judkins pro comparison is Rashad Penny. So, ugh.
Ugh.
I think I like Judkins.
And his teammate is Kareem Hunt. That's his comparison.
Who?
Henderson,
Oh.
Travion.
What?
That's not only the mic. Left one has a microphone in it.
Is it?
Just Curtis, just scream as loud as you can to Kevin's mic.
Yeah, scream as loud as you can into my mic.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
No, we can't
No.
hear you.
It's louder.
Oh, try now.
I know.
How about now?
Yes.
Yes.
Louder.
I mean, he's gonna die in another 10 minutes anyway. So
So the Packers they don't do receiver. Kev. I'm sorry, I disagree with you. You got. I mean, I'm not even gonna say Will
Fonz,
Johnson.
bleep you. Puck off.
I'm not gonna say. Oh, that's a callback. Do we have your attention now? What's so funny,
I almost
Kevin?
just spit up my water.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, I don't even want to say Will Johnson anymore because I honestly don't even know at this point.
Robert
Stop
Kraft
predicting
sounds
him, and then he'll get taken.
Yeah, like, just stop.
Will
I'm tired of
Johnson.
saying Will
I think Will
Johnson.
Johnson would be great right here.
I bet the farm on this.
yeah,
The Packers needs. I would honestly,
Yeah, so he does have a knee injury, and it's concerned some NFL teams, which is the reason why he still has not been selected.
Makes sense.
Tyrell, could you guys take Will Johnson?
I mean, we just got Paulson Adebo. We
did.
recently spent first round pick on a corner. And he has some injury concerns. So between all those things, I'm personally out. But I think the Vikings have a strong need at cornerback. The Texans have a need at cornerback.
I think Texans
who else is-
they've been talking about it. Everything.
I mean, they
lineman
Yeah,
or
makes sense.
linebacker.
all the teams really. The Rams have a need at corner. Ravens have a need at corner. Commanders have a need at corner, which I would hate to see. Bills have a need at corner.
I just got a report. Eagles discussing moving up with Packers.
Of course they are. Uh-oh, Fonz.
Oh,
Uh-oh, Fonz.
Hello, Green Bay fans. We are trading with the Eagles.
oh, that would be.
Have a riot. on their hands.
Some guy's there to on a day that's going to change his life, and he's just getting booed by thousands of people.
What do you think of the draft being in different cities now? Because I remember,
great.
because
Stupid.
next year is in Pittsburgh. Like I like how they're going to the different.
Well,
kinds
that's
of
pretty
cities.
lame, but I think some of these other places are cool.
I remember always it was Radio City.
This is sick, dude. Green Bay is like 100,000 people there, and there's more people in this crowd than there are in the city of Green Bay.
Yeah.
I think that's dope.
Oh, come on, be nice. Be nice to people of Green Bay.
They own the team. They have some respect.
Yeah,
They earn some
put
respect.
some
Right?
respect.
What if James Pierce could go here?
James Pierce.
Oh yeah, I forgot James Pierce wasn't selected.
I did
yet.
I can't wait for them to never do this in Boston.
It would never work. It would
You
never
think
work.
it'll? I was gonna say it'll never work in New York, but they did it in Radio City. But if they did it at MetLife or over there, no, God, it would not end. It would not end well over there. It'd be a pain to get to.
It'd be
Yeah.
a nightmare if they did it in DC.
Oh yeah, no. I think they're doing it in these because Nashville was good. I mean, that's a bigger city, but Green Bay, I like to do it in these different markets.
Yeah.
Seems like we're slowing down here. Some of these six.
Didn't they?
are rolling
Didn't they
in.
do? Didn't they do Detroit? Or
Yes.
they did Detroit recently.
Last
right?
year.
I thought last year was.
We got a comment here. Terry
Oh,
Norris. Terry Norris said Rams should get Sanders. That's
That's my boy
interesting.
TJ. That's my boy TJ. We were talking about it, and yeah, I agree. I mean,
That's a
I guess
really interesting take.
I could see it happening.
He fits that team. He fits how they their mobile quarterback. They don't like him. They don't need a mobile quarterback. They need someone that can make the right throws.
Oh,
and they
pick is
usually
in.
run
Pick
after
is
pass.
in. And I was right. Packers
it-
take wide receiver Matthew Golden.
Wow.
Up yours,
They finally
Fawn.
took a receiver.
Fuck you, buddy.
That's so stupid. Do you have my attention now?
Do I have your attention now? Robert Kraft signs my checks. Mr. Cheese said, "Meep Gang, Mr. Cheese, I miss you, buddy.
Trash.
I
be
miss
honest
you
with
very
Yo,
dearly."
hey guys, all that does is hurt you guys because I feel like that Luther Burden drop that you guys are looking for is not.
Yeah,
as
that's
likely.
probably not happening.
Oh yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen now.
Bro.
I think Burden might go to 2010.
So Golden just joins another group of like 13 receivers they got in the past like 3
Hell
drafts.
yeah.
What I'm interested in here is like if Golden went to a dome like Minnesota, his play style is perfect for it. He's in the
Matthew
coldest
Golden,
environment.
Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison.
No, I'm not saying join the
I know,
Vikings.
I know.
I'm just saying like he is joining the coldest climate in the league, and he's a speed receiver. So I'm interested to see how that pans out in November and December, or if they host a playoff game when it gets freezing cold.
Some people had Golden as the number 1 wide receiver in this draft.
I think Golden's really
I think
good.
it was,
He's fast as hell. He's great for this era of football. I don't love where he's going.
Yeah, sure.
If he went to somewhere like the Chiefs,
Oh, well, yeah. I guess. I mean,
Oh.
yeah.
Tyrell,
don't
you
do
need
that,
to stop
Tyrell.
with that.
I mean, hey, guys, I thought it, but I didn't say it until now when it wasn't a chance of it being a reality. You know what I'm saying?
Xavier
But when they're the 7 seed and go to Detroit in a playoff game, they got a
Right.
better receiver for a dome.
Right. What makes you think that he's not cut out to play in cold?
I mean, he is most effective when he gets down the field. Like, I'm not saying he can't, but like I feel like he's easier to utilize when it's warmer. And like when it's cold weather, run between the tackles, dirty football. I mean, they have to play that type of football more than any other team in the league based on where they play. So I think he's going to be good there, but like I don't see him running those routes over the top all the time in an offense where if it's 10 degrees and snowing sideways, how are they going to utilize him?
It's true. I'm gonna watch this selection by the Packers on NFL just to see how the fans reacted because they're there. I want to see.
They must be pumped. Matthew Golden must be pumped.
I'll turn it up so you guys can hear the reaction. All
Host this wonderful event in our community,
right, he's taking too long.
particularly since we are the community-owned team in the
You go get-
NFL.
Oh, God, this guy he looks like what he sounds like.
I'm bored. Yeah, I'm
I don't even
really
have the
bored
TV
watching
on, and
this.
I could have predicted that
He
one.
sounds like Green.
He
sounds like-
Goodell do it.
He sounds like
Sounds like
Green
a
Bay
Packer fan.
Yeah, he sounds like a dude that would put cheese on top of his head.
Yeah.
And we also
Look at his hair. He
want
probably had it on before. They're like, take it off.
Get it off your
You know,
head.
great. Yeah, thank the city.
They're
thank
like,
the
that's
fans,
a
get the
real
point.
thing of cheese,
the
dude.
point.
Can't
Here
do
you go,
that.
guys.
25 NFL
You're going to make us
draft.
look stupid.
The 13-time world champion.
I hope
Green
he's
Bay
there.
Packers. For the first time since 2002, draft a wide
Oh, that's
receiver.
dope. That is dope.
Listen to this crowd. Oh, baby. Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
That actually,
That is
Wow.
sick.
That's actually fire.
yeah.
That's fire, bro, and he's there, so it's actually kind of
All that hype for him to
Fonz,
get.
do you know who the last wide receiver in the first round was taken by the Packers?
Oh, what was the year?
2002.
Oh, no, I want to get this. Oh shit. Driver was like a 7th rounder. Greg Jennings was years later.
Yeah, they're hyped. They're hyped to get him. I'm not gonna lie.
played
This
it-
crowd is literally going.
This is
nuts.
like pre-Rogers. This is like Favre days,
This
right?
is,
Dude, I'm
Florida
confused.
State.
Oh, that doesn't help.
Hold on, Kevin. Let me see.
Peter
Go back to that.
Peter Warwick.
Nope.
Is it a rando or like a legit name?
Yeah, is he like a? Would I know the name?
Let's look this up here.
Okay, so rando.
He had two 2,000. He had two 1,000-yard receiving season. 2004
Okay,
he made a
never
Pro
mind.
Bowl.
Wait. What other teams did he play for? Was it just the Packers?
Packers, Denver, and Oakland.
That doesn't help.
Javon Walker. Or something
Yes.
like that? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
a pull, Fonz.
Yeah.
What a pull.
Fonz is Googling it right now.
No,
Like,
I remember because you want to know why? Because I played NFL Street so much, I'm obsessed with the rosters. I remember Javon Walker was a Packer one year, a Bronco one the other time, and the third game he was on the Raiders. I remember that thing he had, that order. I don't know why. Don't ask why. I played that game way too much
Why, Fonz?
because I
Yeah,
love the
Fonz, I
game.
want to know why.
Dude, you
Honestly,
forget about
NFL Street 2 is one of the greatest games
Yeah,
ever.
honestly, Kevin's like loving the crowd there, and the crowd is loving for Green Bay. All of them to get hyped for him to have 200 yards and 1 touchdown, maybe.
I know.
Yeah.
They have
But you know
so
what?
many number 2, number 3 receivers. It's
What was it?
It's
Christian
crazy, bro.
Christian Watkins,
Christian Watson,
Watson. Sorry, Romeo
Jalen
Dobbs,
Reed,
Jalen Reed.
Romeo
Stadium-
Dobbs,
There's a Hicks there. That's his last name. I'm pretty sure it's the Hicks there. Dontavius Wicks or something.
Dontavian Wicks.
Yeah, Dontavian Wicks.
Yeah.
Jeez, bro. Like they just and he gets right in the middle of all that.
Look
because
at
he's
Fonzo.
that-
All this
Oh,
information.
Bo Melton. They have Bo Melton
They
too.
do
Another.
have Bo Melton. I'll tell you what, the Packers do know how to draft wide receivers.
Yeah, not good wide receivers.
Jaden Reed is good.
No, Jaden Reed is it. And actually, I said Dobbs could be a solid wide receiver. So it's just I just get mad at Christian Watson because I drafted him 2 years in a row and I fell for it. He got hurt every single time. So I'm not getting hurt again. So I'm not doing it.
Do the Vikings go corner? Could they take the kid from Kentucky?
I think they should get that guy from Michigan, Will Johnson.
I'm moving on from Will Johnson. He's never getting drafted. What about Maxwell Harrison?
That's the guy from Kentucky, the Kentucky guy. But I also,
What about
I
that
mean,
Kentucky guy?
What about the Kentucky guy?
Preseason. Sorry.
Oh,
well, I will say though, Maxwell Harrison actually was. They said like he's like his coverage skills, like he's very good with his coverage skills wise, and good like eye for the ball. So like he wouldn't be a bad option for Minnesota if they go that route too.
Through. But CD, when their season was
All right, well, we appreciate you joining in, tuning in, buddy. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
It was
gentlemen,
great
I
to
appreciate
have
you guys having me.
Yeah, absolutely. JDF is back, so we're happy to have Walt on, and we'll
Hell
get you
yeah.
for some post-draft coverage sometime.
Walt, I'll call you when Malachi's a Raven.
Please don't.
All right, well,
All
thank
right,
you so
peace
much,
out,
man.
boys.
Have a good one, buddy.
Points. You want to keep up, and how many?
Now the
how many
dead weight's
drops?
gone.
So
Ah.
I love Walt. I love Walt. Great guy. That was a good
You're
time.
getting a new guy in town.
So the Vikings, huh?
Be real happy.
says the pick's in, but I haven't seen an actual pick yet.
Donovan Jackson.
Was that who they picked? Oh, wow, yep. The pick is in. The pick is in. Ohio State guard Donovan Jackson.
It was all a part of the plan, man. God,
I mean-
you wait this long.
Hey, man. If the Eagles get Malachi Starks, I will flip this laptop.
Oh,
Donovan-
apologize for the screen right now.
Donovan Jackson, I'll say good, like really like one of like the strongest guards they have him ranked up there at the combine too. Put him good numbers there too. So good strength wise. I think that's good for Minnesota. They want to help up. They want to build like protect JJ McCarthy. So I think that's going to kind of build the interior lineman. Not a bad pick for Minnesota. One that I honestly wasn't expecting. That's the case, kind of. I feel like, damn, with a lot of these picks, ones that we wouldn't expect.
Yeah, I figured with losing some of their secondary guys that they might have went. I'm not even going to say it, but
No,
Right.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
whoa, the Giants are trading into the first round.
Who would pick?
Okay.
I knew it.
Tyrell.
I fucking knew it.
What
The
pick?
Rams and Giants.
All
So
right, let's see.
Houston's up right now, and then the Giants are on the clock after that.
So you know what?
Tyrell, how you
Be
feeling
my
about
guy.
it?
Give me whatever quarterback you think is best.
You think you guys are going to go quarterback?
I think so. I don't really see what else is there unless they
Is
go.
it Shador?
I think so. Him or Dart. I heard that Dayball loves Dart. I heard that Sean loves
They would
Shador.
not trade up for Dart or Jalen. There's no way that's
I
possible.
heard Shador had a
I
really
don't
bad
think they traded for
meeting.
Milrow. I don't think they traded for Milrow. I'm just curious what we gave up because I hope that it was just like a third because we have other thirds, like a fourth. You know what I'm saying?
Huh.
I'm still.
Oh, no, the Texans are trading. Hold on. Breaking news. Breaking news.
Whoa.
So the Texans have traded with the Giants, not the Rams.
Yeah.
And now the Giants
so we
are
gave
on
up-
the clock right now.
So we
Who
gave
would they
up
jump over the
94,
Texans
obviously.
to get?
And, dude, all we gave up was 99, and next year's you know what I'm saying?
Yo, I don't know what you're saying. Please tell me.
I'm cool with giving up our second, third round pick that we have because we have the first pick of the third round. I'm cool giving up our second, third round pick and a third round pick next year for our first and hopefully our potential quarterback.
But who's it gonna be? It's probably gonna be Shador.
I'm cool with Sanders or Dart, whichever one they think. I love Dart. I don't know why.
Or they take Johnson.
The Giants have traded the number 34 pick, a 2025 third-round pick, and a future sixth-round pick in exchange for the 25.
Dude, I'm cool with it.
You're cooling
Cool.
right now?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
We're booling.
We're bowling.
Is it just me because I feel like you spent on not spent but like you signed Wilson and Winston too, like do you bring in Sanders there if that's the case, and like you're gonna have like not a QB controversy, and you're gonna have like
There's no QB controversy. If we take him at the 25th pick, you understand, and we have Wilson there, you're coming in there to learn for a year.
But
regardless
Tyrell,
of
why move up? Who are you jumping to get Shador? Unless the Rams are in love with Shador.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to say. Like
it's not even a matter of jumping up to get Shador and ahead of anybody. I think when you get
What pick
your
is
quarterback,
in?
the goal is to have that 50 option.
The New York Giants have selected
I get that.
Jackson Dart out of Old
Let's go. That's what I wanted.
Wow.
Not gonna lie, I love Jackson Dart. I'm a Jackson Dart fan. I think he has upside.
Tyrell, let's hear it. Let's get the take, Tyrell.
Dude, so it's crazy. So today was a day that I actually came to a realization that I was a Jackson Dart fan. I think he has what I look for in quarterbacks, I can't analyze how they throw the ball, right, or those aspects. I look for a dog mentality. I look for a good teammate, and I look for somebody that has some mobility. And he has all three of those things. So when you add all those things in and you give him some time to learn behind a Russ and a Jameis Winston, now we're in a really good space. And all you have to do is give up a second, third-round pick that you have this year and a third-round pick next year. Cool, fine. I'm totally fine with that. Now you guys have your quarterback in place that can learn, and we also got a star edge rusher. And now we're not worried about it, and I can sit back and not even have to worry about the draft tomorrow morning. We already got who we wanted. Or not tomorrow morning, but tomorrow night in the beginning. You know what I mean? And then we have the first pick in the third round. Someone's gonna fall there, right? You're gonna have a second round talent that comes to you at that third round pick right there, and you're gonna feel good about it. So overall, if we can leave here with a premium asset, a blue chip player, your starting quarterback of the future, and then can kind of go into the next part of that draft and be happy, dude, you're good. And on top of that, what I was saying beforehand is you want that fifth-year option. When you have a quarterback, the advantage of having a QB, a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal is you're not paying him, and you can surround him with talent while paying the other talent. If you get that quarterback and he only has 4 years and you're sitting him for the first year regardless, you're already kind of pigeonholing yourself in a sense as well. So I think giving up a third-round pick later, and the third-round pick this year and a third-round pick next year to get that extra year to have your starting quarterback, I think is a win-win for everybody.
That does make sense though with the fifth year. I really didn't think about it with that because essentially with the fifth year, then that first year, it's already going to be like it's fine. You still got 4 years after that, so it definitely does make sense with that too. I am shocked they went with Dart. That they were going to go with kind of this.
I'm shocked they traded up for Dart.
That's what I'm saying. I thought you could have waited for Dart.
I mean, but that's the thing. It's like you don't know if the Browns like him.
Yeah.
You don't know if the Steelers are kind of bugging at it. You don't know the Rams have been all over him.
It's true.
And so you sit there and you look at it. You're like, okay, cool. If you love a guy, do you go up and try and get him? Do you give up a third round pick to make sure that you get your guy and get your fifth year option? I think it's a no brainer. I would have been okay if they waited and they say they went in the second round and they got a Milroe or waited whatever. But now I'm curious where Shador goes. I know he's going to have some vengeance on teams passing on him.
He's gonna tweet a lot about it. Let me tell you.
We have a couple
he's villain era for sure.
Tom Scavetta said, "What's up, Tom? How are you feeling as a Giants fan? How are you feeling about the Jackson Dart trade?" We got Tyler, who's a co-host on Out of Bounds, said it's insane in Green Bay right now. I can only imagine he's there live. TJ said, y'all getting Dart, Ole Miss ties, told you Dart because Rams were going to take him, but Giants have Ole Miss ties, so hard to take him. Now Rams take Sanders. TJ's calling out the shots right now.
Looks like the Falcons are trading back into the first round.
Are they?
Called the bluff.
Is it official?
Not yet. I haven't seen the trade yet.
Fonz, talk to us about Jackson Dart.
Already getting a premier player.
Jackson Dart, again, pretty solid. He's been playing college ball for quite some time here. Good pocket presence.
Hold on, real quick. The trade is that the Falcons are in fact moving up to the 26th spot. Now they can't go cornerback, so I wonder what they're jumping here.
Wait, who traded?
The Falcons are now, as Justin alluded to, the Falcons are now jumped back in to the first round.
And see, that's what happens when the Rams got jumped for probably who they were looking for.
I would say with Dart, though, he does have really good arm strength, too. So I think he's going to need some time a little bit to develop, I would say. So so the Giants, I guess you could say I understand it, though, because he doesn't have to play in there right away. But give it a year, and I think he will be a very good starting QB in this league.
I agree. I feel the exact same way.
So now, surprise, we have the Falcons that have moved back into the first round. They are on the clock. The Rams just kind of sitting pat. Maybe they really did want Dart. That's crazy.
So
yeah,
the
they're
Rams,
probably not sold on Sanders at all.
Abdullah Carter and Jackson Dart. I feel like that was your dream.
It was. And I didn't even think it was realistic. That's the crazy part about it.
So the Falcons already did good by getting Walker earlier. Do they go defense again? Well, I'm not gonna say his name, but they'll go. But
Did they
like
get Campbell? Campbell sliding.
I thought. Well, Walt said it before too. Linebackers, you get the one or two that are high up, and then after that, it's a big drop off. That's generally how it is with the inside linebackers. But Campbell. We said Campbell or Walker would be good for the Falcons, and they could potentially, have both because Walker can play, like we said, the edge and linebacker spot. Put him at the pass rushing spot, then put Campbell in at inside backer. That's pretty good defense to build around for Atlanta.
Or you just
At some point. Yeah, this young quarterback, Ole Miss, is going to have fun throwing to Malik Neighbors at LSU.
Oh, yeah, Jackson Dart, Malik Neighbors.
They gave his comp. They gave Jackson Dart comp also Jalen Hurts.
You see the comparison there with Jalen Hurts.
Wait, what did I say? What did I say? Darts was at C. I like because CBS's one is like I'm always. Oh no, CBS's it's Jared Stidham.
Oh,
Jared Stidham.
Ooh, brother.
brother. Ooh.
Ball here, right on the money. Yeah, nice.
Well, you're not gonna. Quinn Ewers is David Mills.
Oh.
And he was effective as a runner.
I wonder what the
Let's
Falcons
go.
moved up for.
Yeah, probably defense, right?
I would
Like,
imagine.
maybe they go-
Imagine if they took your boy Funds right in front of you.
Ooh, that would
Right
be
in front of you.
They can't. No, they can't. Oh no, their safeties are Jesse Bates and they probably could.
They could take Pierce Jr. and double down on that
They
rush.
did lose Grady Jarrett.
That Pierce would be good there. Campbell could be good there. The other
They
guy,
traded a first next year, so they got to have some conviction on who they're grabbing.
they traded next year's first.
They traded next year's first for this pick.
Oh, they got
So
it.
they want to save that second.
Whoever this
They want to save that second pick.
They're not going to go receiver, are they?
No.
I think he's in a great situation.
Because like
Maybe.
because Burton might get taken by after the Ravens. Like
thoughts on his game. But I tell you what, guys.
Yes, they get a first. They get this pick in the
Big.
third round, and then they get a second round. The Rams get a second round pick, a first round next year, and a seventh round.
Jeez.
that's a lot.
Well, that's because Atlanta's a steep drop to go down in that second round where they pick as opposed to where the Giants are. The second.
It's got to be. It's got Shador.
No. Jalen Milroe at running back.
Still nothing. Still not.
Listen, we said it last year. They're not going to get a quarterback, Michael Penix. Why do they do that? They already just signed Kirk Cousins, and then they drafted Michael Penix. So,
Pick is in.
oh boy,
The Falcons have selected Tennessee defensive end James Pierce Jr.
Called it.
big,
Called it.
Fonz, tell us about James Pierce Jr.
big edge rusher coming off the line here. I think this is really good for Tennessee. Was a very good guy for them. They're 6'5", 240, 245. Comes off the block really well, and I think he gets after the quarterback. So I think this is really good for Atlanta, which is what they needed. Him and Jalen Walker, that's going to be a good edge rush duo there, which they lost a lot. The Falcons lost Grady Jarrett, and they haven't really had a consistent pass rusher. Since Vic Beasley, really, essentially going in.
You love that.
Yeah, that guy, I hated that poll that someone said before too. But I think Pierce's was a really good spot for them. He was compared to actually Randy Gregory, which I think not a bad comparison. I would say on the field wise, on the field wise too. But again, off the snap, his jump is fast. Like he's really like he can get after the QB. So I think this is really good for Atlanta.
They really liked him. There's their Grady Jarrett replacement.
Yeah. I mean, they picked up two very versatile rushers in these two guys, too.
Yeah, he did. Like Pierce is very fast off the line. Like this is very good.
Dude, this is crazy. Cool.
They're gonna be giving QBs nightmares this year with those two guys.
Fonz.
Dude, what a random draft, man.
The
Random
Ravens
draft.
are on the clock.
Fonz, if you guys do not take him, we're gonna lose.
Now, I would think safety. I think safety would be the go-to here because I would have said Pierce or Shamar Stewart if they wanted to go edge rusher. But you go safety here. Malachi Starks, yes, but then you can also go Nick Imawari from South Carolina. It's another one there. It's like 1A and 1B. For like who would you want there as the safety spot too? I would say, and then after that, it's kind of a fall off in the safety department, which I think is their big need. If they want to go. You can kind of wait for interior linemen and other offensive tackles here, I think, unless you want to go. I don't think Josh Simmons, I think he's still on the board too, but I would say safety Imawari or Malachi Starks. Personally, I want Malachi Starks, but if they're like both there, I wouldn't hate if they get Imawari too. So
Please just get Malachi Starks. I want to go check my Giants group chats to see if anyone's either jumping off a ledge or happy. I want to see what's going on. Everyone's saying, thank God, Jackson Dart. Everyone's happy. So
I will say I'm just saying this. I'm just saying the Ravens have
a dart throw.
Yes.
But I will say this, and Kevin, you're not going to like this. The Ravens have a history of taking corners that are risky and coming off injuries and having some trouble. Will Johnson is there. I'm just saying that they could.
I would love Will Johnson.
No, like they've done that in the past where they've taken guys who had a bad down year or injured, especially in the cornerback spot, and they've made them into solid players, solid playing careers. So this could be the case where if Will Johnson's available, it actually wouldn't be the worst thing. But also the Ravens have a history of trading out of the first round, so I'm shocked they're here this long.
I'm still so surprised he's still on the board.
Who?
What do you mean who?
Shedeur Sanders?
Who? Bucky Irving?
Bucky.
Yeah.
If he was a duck, would it be called Ducky Irving?
I hate it here.
What do we want? Race car noises. When do we want it? Meow.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know why people like AirPods. I really don't.
I hate it.
AirPods aren't really good for like doing stuff like this, I would say, right?
Bro, AirPods are literally elite. If you don't know that, then you don't get it.
This is the first time I've worn AirPods, and they're so uncomfortable.
Well, I don't know if you have the old generation or the new generation.
Yeah, the newer ones you can change the ear cover. Like
Yeah.
the thing.
These old or new?
Older.
That must be why.
All right, we get it, Kevin. You're different. You like Androids over iPhones. We get it.
Get it, I mean.
Yeah.
Fraud.
Fraud. All right, Ravens. Could they go Will Johnson?
No.
Could they go Shedeur Sanders?
No. That's gone too far.
Anybody else?
Milrow.
No.
Dude, but it does say a lot that Sanders has not been picked.
I
It says a
know.
lot about how he was viewed.
You know what's funny? The Ravens had a meeting with Ashton Genty, and I'm like, there's no shot in hell Genty's going to fall all the way to
I
the
love
Ravens.
that he's a Raider.
It fits so perfectly with them.
EO said the new gen is better of AirPods.
Yeah, I'll say I didn't like the first ones. I'll give you that. You know, but like the second ones, I will say because the adjustable earpieces helped out a lot.
Okay, looks
Yeah,
like
I'm extremely happy with that trade. Fuck it.
I don't know why you jumped it, but I guess that Rams news must have been totally legit. They must have really liked Jackson Dart.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm reading elsewhere as well, bro. So, you know.
Pick is in. The pick is in, Fonzie.
No, please.
The Ravens are selecting Georgia safety Malachi
Hey, man, what a draft for everybody, right?
They
What a draft
win.
for everyone.
Oh, we win. Oh,
Fonz, how happy are you right now?
this is like a big-bodied, smash-mouth safety that him and Kyle Hamilton is going to be beautiful. Then also they brought back our Darius Washington. So they got 3 really good safeties. And Malachi Starks, like, is a tackler. Like, he can tackle. Like, he's not afraid of, like, contact with that. So he's a good ball hawking safety, but he also is a very good tackler. So this is like, listen, last time I said Edric 2.0 was Matt Elam, and that didn't work out too well. So I'm not going to jump. I'm not going to jump. Now, CBS's comparison to Mr. Malachi Starks was, I believe, Evan Williams. I'm not sure who. Oh no, that's Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams was a Raven too. Then he sucked. So that's when you know. But Malachi Starks, I said it. I'm gonna call. Should I call Walt now? No, I'm not gonna call him. I don't want to bother him. But I love this. The Ravens. I said this like a few days ago. I said Malachi Starks is a perfect Raven. This is perfect for the defense to help out in the secondary. And this, I absolutely love this pick, and I have no issues with it whatsoever.
Fonz is happy.
Hell yeah.
Malachi Starks is a Raven.
I'm happy for you. Hey, I'm happy for myself, for you,
for
everybody involved as far as him not going to the
And he's
Eagles.
walking up here with the Ravens draft cap with the crab pin. So look at that. He's officially welcome to the flock, Mr. Malachi Starks.
Another Georgia Bulldog. The Eagles are getting pissed. Malachi Starks would have been a great Eagle.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Coulda, shoulda, woulda, Kevin. Who cares? Do I have your attention now?
Now someone just take Will Johnson so that way the Eagles cannot have him.
Fonz, thoughts on Malik Beasley not winning 6th Man of the Year?
He should have won 6th Man of the Year. Let's be real.
No, he shouldn't have.
I'm gonna be honest with you. In a non-biased way, I agree. I get why I'm not mad at Peyton Pritchard getting it. So just be fair.
Tyrell, don't even start with me right now. Peyton Pritchard was literally the most deserving person of that.
Listen, you hear what I said. I'm not mad at him getting it. I don't feel he is undeserving. So just to be very clear, I don't feel like that I don't feel like they got it wrong.
I don't think there's anybody that's more deserving though.
Malik Beasley.
I think Malik Beasley is
like 6 or 20 something games as a starter.
Nope, 18.
That's
not 18.
18 as a starter.
Yeah,
hey man, that tells you the value that he had
for threes off the bench. He
had
more points, more rebounds at his position. Kearns, let him know.
It's tough. I just personally, like I said, I'm a fan of what Malik Beasley did this year and how he affected his team. Again, I'm not taking away from Peyton. I think he was deserving. No one could be mad at him getting it. You can't sit there and be like he didn't deserve that award. You know what I'm saying? And I'm real when it comes to that. But at the same time,
if Peyton was on another team, we wouldn't care.
My buddy Smitty said, always a pleasure to see you. Keep up the good work, all you guys. Thank you so much, bro. He's out. Have a good night, Smitty. Will Johnson's a Patriot. Sean Militello, who dat? Calvin Banks. And he's still live. Sean, appreciate you tuning in, buddy. I hope that your show is going well and you guys are having fun over there. We're rolling here. Fonz, did you have to hop off?
Yeah, I was gonna hop off after the Ravens pick if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you all right with that?
Yeah, always.
I mean, let's you want me to. If you want me to stay for another pick or two. I mean, I'll do an even number. We'll stay at the pick number 28. I'll leave it at 28. We'll do that. So I do have to get up early tomorrow too. I actually want to see what the Lions do at 28. I'm actually very curious.
Yeah, who's the next?
Man Campbell.
I'm kind of curious too, but I love that Malachi Starks pick was great for you guys. Defense got a lot better. You guys, you got Marlon Humphreys, Nate Wiggins, you got
Tyrell is 37.
Yeah, I heard that too. I'm like,
Tyrell, that was like so just like ascending your voice. It was incredible.
it sounded, and it was about the Ravens too, and I love that.
Dude, was it like a mix between Fergie and Jesus, or like what am I missing?
What is going on right now?
Oh! You guys want to know the funniest part about this? I can tell you what's going on right now. Is I forgot to plug in my mic. Realize that right now. Just plugged in my mic. So that's what you're hearing me out of now, as opposed to the internal mic on here.
God,
So,
I feel like I'm just all my sins are forgiven.
And I love that it was the Ravens talk too. He's like a Maul Humphrey, Roquan Smith, and it's like,
yeah,
it's
I
like,
named your entire starting defensive line all while sounding like Morgan Freeman.
that's what I want. I want that. I just want that as like my ringtone, is him with like the Morgan Freeman talking the entire Ravens defense.
Dude, you guys came up though. I love the match start. Dude,
I can't do it with you, bro.
Dude, this is my voice. Just because it's turning you on doesn't mean you gotta make me feel bad. All right.
If you could hear it, you would understand why.
But this defense just got a whole lot better.
It did.
And I'm sure.
Are
And
you
I'm
getting jersey funds?
maybe. I was thinking of getting Derrick Henry, but I haven't gotten a Derrick Henry one yet.
Let's be real. Vaughn's already bought the Malachi Starks jersey.
I actually. Listen. A couple years ago, I said they should get Rashad Bateman. They did, and he's turned out pretty well so far. So I'm pretty good when it comes to draft picks. So,
bro, when it comes to draft, I'm always gonna grab this stuff, bro. I got the draft. I got this right here. I'm wearing my Malik. I just now have the 2 jerseys I got to get this year. I always get them. All right. And yes, this is my voice, guys. Okay. Yes.
we get you to hum the Halo theme song?
No, but actually, what does Detroit do as my last pick here?
Matthew Golden.
I don't know.
Let's take us in. I'm just waiting for it to actually come in.
They took Terrion Arnold last year, so they don't need corner. I don't really know what their needs are. Looking at this year.
Maxwell Hairston. They could go another corner. They did lose CD.
Yeah.
Well, there's one corner that's on
The Bills need a CD.
No, I'm not saying his name.
They need edge. They need an O line. They could probably.
Wait, I'm sure you guys answered. Who was their safeties again? I was on a blank.
Fatty.
No, but who's next to him? Because you could do Nick Imuwari too if you want to go another corner. I mean,
it's in. Pick us in. The Lions are selecting Ohio State D tackle Tyleek Williams at number 28.
Interesting.
I don't know. What do I know?
Yo, Fonz, you got to just stay for the whole draft, bro. You're already here.
Yeah,
4 picks. What are you doing?
That's draft finals. I guess I'll stay for the rest of the draft too. Why not? We'll do it out here.
They're moving.
Yeah. I mean, they are moving, so that's fine. We'll do that. Tyleek Williams. Listen, that's a big dude also for Detroit. So this really fits Man Campbell. This is like a Man Campbell perfect pick right here.
Is it?
Yeah. No, this is a really good one. Like
6'3",
literally
330.
This is literally, but more of a run stopper. Very good run stopper. Pass rusher. I mean, pass like defender. Might be a little bit questionable, but definitely good at stopping the run for Detroit.
He's great in the run defense, which is huge for them. Obviously, everyone's just trying to stop the push.
Yeah.
This is the guy that helps it, but wow, 360 pounds before going to 327. He's explosive. After flashing early promise as freshman All-American with 5 sacks and limited action, he steadily expanded his role over 4 seasons, and he had a breakout 2023 campaign. He racked up 53 tackles and 10 tackles for a loss from the interior defensive tackle position. He followed that up with a good 2024 season, 46 tackles, 8 tackles for a loss, 2.5 sacks, and he missed 2 games. So yeah, they're getting a good all-around tackle. This is a man guy, easily.
Large fella over there.
Very large fella.
You're a fart smeller, Meg. Sorry. What's up?
Just go offline.
We're still live on YouTube, it looks like.
we're still up. All right. So next on the clock, we have the Washington Commanders. Wonder what position they're going to go with.
I can see running back here.
Thank you, Jesus.
Wait, what did I do?
Your voice,
if you can hear it.
Like, I didn't know that having a beautiful voice would be like talked down upon. Okay.
No, it's not. It's elevated. I feel like I'm just, Jesus rose again.
Yeah,
Here we are.
He did.
Yeah, his real name's
right
Tyrell.
after Resurrection Sunday.
So the Commanders, a lot of different ways they can go. Obviously, they could go possible defensive side of the ball with Dan Quinn. They addressed the offensive side. They brought in Debo Samuel to go across from Terry McLaurin. Curious if they go that way again. I don't know. Could they go Luther Burden? Or I feel like you just got to go defensive side. Maybe.
Yeah. Think you have Worry here?
Yeah. That's not a bad pick.
Or you go Will Johnson.
Shut up, Hans.
Maxwell Harrison. I mean, they brought in Marshawn Lattimore, but could they go another corner?
Could be the option.
Or Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. 3 running backs in the first round.
They have enough running backs. I would wait. You can wait for running back. Who's the other guy?
Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson, and they had that other guy that went undrafted but played very well for them.
Chris Rodriguez.
Yeah, Chris Rodriguez. Yeah, he played well for them. Like I said, if Hampton was there, something like a higher.
Yeah, no, I would say that. Yeah, but like
but
the other guys you can hold off and wait for.
Exactly. But they need a cornerback band. So I mean, I can see Will Johnson going here. I don't want it to happen, but I could see it.
I could see it.
Dude, such an interesting draft this year. But you know what? Literally, we all of our teams got better.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And that's none of us sat here and looked at this draft and was like, what the heck? I remember when Daniel Jones got drafted. I literally didn't want to go to work the next day.
Nah.
Like legit how I felt.
The worst part about this draft is that the Eagles are going to end up with someone they shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
I told you it happens whenever the Eagles are at the end of the draft, whatever draft class that is, they always end up with, like last year, they ended up with the best cornerback in the draft. Why? How? Why? Twice, bro. Quentin Mitchell and Cooper Dean, they just fell in their lap.
Looks like the pick is in. Just trying to get the actual pick.
The pick is in. Offensive line, Oregon's offensive tackle, Josh Connerly Jr.
You know what? Again, tackles are not sexy picks, right? I don't know much about this tackle specifically, but I do know you just drafted Jaden Daniels. And the goal there, and you just got your starting left tackle. Why not solidify that line and just hold that up for him and let him get better and develop? Now they got to go get him some weapons, and the defensive side, I think that they have a defensive minded coach in Dan Quinn, so I think he does a lot with a little. I think they really just have to get better on the offensive side, and that's getting your line better for your quarterback that was literally all pro and got you to the NFC Championship is pretty much on the docket at all times.
Yeah, you got to protect your guy in Jaden Daniels too. This is a big tackle for them here too. So this is kind of like your best available here for the Commanders, where like there wasn't like a huge dire need, but the main thing you want to do is protect your franchise. So I think this is like a perfect spot. This is a good job by the Commanders. You're going with that spot.
Fonz, all right. I know you got to head out, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out. I gotta get up early in the morning too. But fellas, is it official? Are we officially back, Kevin? It's
JDF Sports is officially back, as you guys have seen. We've been posting content for a little bit. We've been streaming. We got the games that Kearns and I have been running. We're going to be getting into some card rips. We're out of content. Tyrell could be signing a contract, coming back with Fantasy Egos. We'll see how working out with his agent if we can make that work. But
yeah, his people are talking to my people. We'll let you know.
We'll let you guys know. Fonz and I have a podcast. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to spiel that.
Yo, what the? Yo!
Might be bringing buckets back. But JDF Sports is back, guys. And we didn't want to make like this big announcement, a couple of weeks ago because we wanted to show you guys that we're serious about a relaunch. We wanted to take the time to listen to what you guys like and put out the content that you guys like. So appreciate all the love and support. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and commenting and everything now. But yeah, Fonz, we're back, buddy.
So back, looking forward to the continued success with JDF Sports, and this was fun doing this over here too. So we got a lot more coming. It's not just this draft talk; we got a whole lot more coming. I'm looking forward to working with you guys with all this stuff, though. We had a vision, Kevin, to bring it back, and guess what?
We're back.
We're back, baby.
But Fonz, all right, buddy. We'll catch you soon. Safe travels.
Love y'all. I'm ordering my Malachi Stark jersey as we speak, so I'll see you guys.
All right, see you,
yeah, I'm looking about too, bro.
All right.
Do I get a Dart jersey first? Or do I get a Carter jersey?
Oh, I don't want that up there.
Carter.
Yeah, you gotta get the Carter jersey.
Gotta get the Carter jersey.
But that's the thing, like it's just starting quarterback. But then I would honestly get a Russ jersey too.
Yeah, but Dart's not going to start right away, so you have time until he's a starter.
It's true. I literally don't hate the Giants team right now, and it's a very weird feeling. I don't know how to feel, bro. Like I feel like we forged an identity on defense, and we're gonna.
Jesus Christ.
Hey man, Jesus is my Lord and Savior.
Jesus is my Lord and Savior. He sits on the throne.
You know what? You know what solidified our friendship is that you have invited me to church on multiple occasions, and that's how I know that we are forever.
You brought
friends.
me to church, and it was the most lit experience.
Yo, bro, you came to our church. And you know what? I was very, very happy. That's what I'm saying, Fitz. That's a basis of a friendship that also has Jesus in it is always going to be a strong friendship. I don't care what anybody thinks.
Amen, brother. EO said, also, how do you guys not have a contract for Jesus? Love seeing you boys in the content. And then the new JDF Sports emotes on Twitch. She's using them. We got them. There. We got approved for them. So we're excited. All right, so we're waiting on the Buffalo Bills here. Interested to see how they need to do. They always draft pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, there's one guy on the defensive end. 6'2". Let's see, 194.
As soon as Fonz left, Tyrell's camera got like a million times better. I don't know what that was about.
It's all Fonz.
Blame him. I'm still happy for you guys. I still feel like you guys go and tackle me a ton. I'm sorry.
I love tackle. I just hope Will Campbell's the guy. If he's the guy and he's the best tackle in the draft, I'm ecstatic with it. Like you said, it's not a sexy pick, but like when you have a guy that's locked up that is going to be a Pro Bowl tackle for years to come, like that's one of the best things you can have. There's 4 positions you need to lock up in the NFL: quarterback, offensive tackle, defensive end,
punter,
and then your kicker.
Your punter.
No, and then after that, you need a good safety.
Yeah, it's true.
Giants coach Brian Daboll announced at his press conference that Russ will be our starter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well,
so we're not going to see Jackson Dart for a little bit.
Yeah, unless Russ gets hurt, and then even then you might still see games if we need to win some games. You know what I'm saying? So let that man learn. I think. What do I have them at as far as what?
As far as wins.
I don't foresee us being this crazy team. I can see us hovering in a little bit below 500 area, like get some notable wins, but not a playoff team. I think that having Russ at the helm really helps. I think us having an identity on the defensive side really helps. I think that kind of going into that, we have an identity. We have a starting quarterback of quality. We have a number one wide receiver. I think if we can just add to the offense the rest of this draft, then I'll leave this draft. I'll leave feeling good about the team. we're getting better every year, you know.
Yeah.
And I think Brian Daboll's draft last year. I mean, Joe Schoen's draft last year made me comfortable with his assessment of talent. Everything hit last year for me from 1 to 6. So we'll see.
We will see.
And also, I can say that there's 2 things about us taking Jackson Dart that makes me excited. One is last year we got to watch Hard Knocks, right? And the person that Brian Daboll wanted the most and was excited about was Jaden Daniels. He said he would absolutely trade up for Jaden Daniels, and he liked Drake Man, right? He also, his Joe Schoen's son, really said, if you want to win now, grab Jaden Daniels. Well, last night, Joe Schoen's son posted on his Instagram story, Jackson Dart highlights.
Nice.
I went and looked at him, and that's what, honestly, I'm not even joking, watching his highlights was what turned me. And it wasn't how he played. It was 2 things. It was one thing that how he plays is he threw the ball to receivers that weren't open. And I think that's a very underrated quality for NFL quarterbacks, because what college quarterbacks do is they wait to see somebody open and they throw the ball, or they wait to see some coverage and they throw the ball. Jackson Dart threw the ball before his wide receiver or that cornerback even turned around, and I like that quality. And I like the swag and how he held himself.
Real quick, don't have
we
the
have a
actual
trade.
trade, but the Eagles are moving up 1 spot.
Eagles are on the
Swapping
clock,
with the Chiefs.
and they have. The Eagles are trading number 32 and number 164 to the Chiefs for number 31. So they jumped the Chiefs.
Why?
We still don't know who the Bills are taking.
Wait, why are the Eagles on the clock? The Bills.
It's in
Yeah, they're not
Maxwell Harrison,
with the Bills.
cornerback out of Kentucky.
Wait, what?
Maxwell Harrison, cornerback out of Kentucky.
Oh, I didn't even
Is who
see
the Bills
that.
took?
Yeah, who the Bills took.
All right. Maxwell Harrison, cornerback out of Kentucky.
I'm glad I got to announce a couple picks today. That's
The
good.
next
That's good.
Buffalo Bill.
And you know what? Maxwell Harrison clearly had to be good.
There it
He had to be
is.
good because he's at the
There,
draft,
yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
Dude, I can't believe they're about to fucking. Dude, the Eagles.
Well, they jumped one person. Who the hell do they want?
I hate them so much. It's like, why do they have such a good front office? Why don't they just do good shit every year after year? Like, just make a mistake 1 year.
I'm just so interested in who they jumped 1 spot to get. Like, who are they so worried they can?
What did they give up to do that? Does anyone know?
32 and 164. So it's like,
Why would I even accept that 164? Fuck that shit. And the crazy part about it is, I think, the reason why they would even jump up the way they did is someone else must have been coveting who they want that wasn't the Chiefs,
yeah.
Yeah, someone else could have been on the phone with the Chiefs.
Someone must have been trying to jump the Eagles to get who they wanted. I know they have a need at safety. Who's that safety that we were talking about?
Evan Wari,
Yeah.
of South Carolina. I mean, they could go Campbell or he who should not be named.
I cursed him. I owe him an apology. I'm going to DM him.
They could go Mike Green, too, and just add pressure on the defensive line if they wanted to. That's the feeling. I feel like they don't have any glaring needs. Like, they don't have anything they absolutely have to go get. They could literally just get anything to make their team feel that much better. These goddamn bums, dude. How much more do you need?
Eagles really are the most hated team. The Chiefs were, but now the Eagles won. Now the Eagles are again. But for a little bit, we were all, let's be real, we were all Eagles fans during the Super Bowl.
Pretty much.
Pick is in.
I was not.
The pick is in. You know what? Fuck the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles have selected Alabama linebacker Jaheed Campbell.
Yeah.
Of course they would.
Dude, I don't want to give a reaction.
You're not happy with this?
I'm not happy with anything they do.
That's a great pick for them. Seriously though, it's like who lets the Eagles get away with this stuff?
I have no clue. Makes no sense.
I'm curious to see what Kansas City does too.
Every year. Man.
Hopefully they do this pick so this draft can damn end.
I know, facts. That's what to drive home.
Yeah, I feel for you.
I can't wait to just like sit here and just look at Giant stuff because I'm not gonna talk about that.
Riley Mays
Snoozing.
making some noises. Motherfucker, come here. Is she over there?
Sorry, it's Jihad Campbell. My bad.
That's an insane name.
No one cares.
That's an insane name.
Hate those guys so much.
I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna be good.
He's great.
Oh god. All right, everyone. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We got the Chiefs up. By the way, Jihad Campbell, a quick little note on him. Versatile linebacker with significant contributions in pass coverage and run defense. He's got exceptional range, quick diagnosis of plays, and effective blitzer. He needs to improve his consistency in tackling and shedding blocks, but, I mean, the Eagles just seem to have done it again. And it's our fault for letting it happen. But everyone gets so focused on what all this other stuff that like one or two guys always slips to them in a draft. And something I looked at, he was the 12th best prospect, and they managed to get him at 31.
Dude, I'm telling you, every year, man.
It's our fault. It's our fault.
Every year.
We allow it to happen. But the two people who are still watching, appreciate you guys. Thank you. Let's see what the Chiefs do to round us out here. I feel like
Pablo.
what do they do? I don't think they go wide receiver. I don't think they go running back.
They could go receiver. Who's left though? Jaden Higgins.
They're probably going to
Cooper Burden. Out. There's one guy on defense.
Is it? Is it? They pick?
No, I said there's one guy left. There's one guy on defense who hasn't got it yet.
They could go Josiah Stewart.
They could go Green out of Marshall.
They could go Green out of Marshall. What about Landon Jackson out of Arkansas? I feel like they're going to go corner.
They could go Manwari. Because didn't they
Dude, that Marion Hampton spot kind of sucks on as far as
they lost Justin Reed, so they could go Manwari to replace him. I wish they would just, make this pick.
Yeah, oh God.
Oh my goodness. ESPN hasn't even updated the still in Philadelphia on the clock. Bombs.
Not as good as JDF Sports.
Not even close.
Day 2 is going to be fire.
I'm very excited to see what the Pats do with day 2, actually.
Wesley said, from start to finish with JDF Sports, that's how I roll. Wesley, I love you, buddy.
Goat. Wesley's a goat for sure.
Wesley is a goat, easily. And he's happy. Yeah. They got Tyler Warren. Life couldn't be any better. Wesley, we're going to play Ark sometime, buddy.
Wesley, we got to play 2K sometime, buddy.
EO Sola's still in the comments. Appreciate you, babe.
She's actually in there twice because I'm on her computer.
Let's see what the Chiefs do. Let's get this.
Ziggy. Well, the problem is Ziggy. The problem is, bro, I have a 5.5-month-old baby.
Can't be having
you know what I'm saying? Dude, like, what's that baby sleep, bro? If you wake the baby up Everyone's got to fight. We all got to fight.
Ziggy wakes that baby up. There's gonna be a scrap.
We are going to be hard.
And the pick is in. Nope.
Oh, you're dumb.
I lied. After trading the number 31 to the Eagles to select Bama linebacker Jaheed Campbell, the player they've coveted all along. In fact, they nearly traded the Chargers for that pick. Wow.
Kansas City is expected to take offensive line help for Patrick Mahomes.
Ziggy wanted everyone to know. Yeah, they did lose Joe Thuney. They could take that Oregon. No.
No, I think he got picked, didn't he?
Yeah, he did get picked. Josh Simmons still available?
Josh Simmons is still available.
For Ohio State, he could be a pick.
Yep, he could get picked here.
Yes, indubitably. Shallow, impotentic.
They could also take James Burnett, Alabama punter.
Dayball said Russ is Giants.
Oh, looks like the pick is in. Let's see what it is.
Do you have it?
Nope, and my mic just died. Oh, wait, did my mic die?
No, you're still good.
Okay, cool. I don't have the pick yet. It just says the pick is in.
Oh, well, we lied, guys. We got a little lazy here with pick
I
one.
literally said that. You just got ahead of yourself.
Kearns lied, guys. I apologize for him.
Okay, Kevin's just mad because he got beat in the pit the other day.
Well, the pick must be in because Shadur Sanders will officially not go in the first round.
Yeah. I mean, that could also just be speculation. Cause
We're all wondering, but now we know for sure.
We're all wondering. Now we know for sure. Come on, Chiefs. We're waiting. Talking. Dreaming.
Oh my God, what is this goddamn pick? I wanna go home.
I wonder if anyone commented on that TikTok that I got into people with about. No comments yet. For Cam Ward. Just delete the video. Nah, I'm just kidding. I stand on fucking business.
Standing on business. Bro, where is this pick? Golly.
If you're still watching, what do you think the Chiefs do here? Yo, we need more pit fights. This Tyrell game. Tyrell does game. Tyrell's like a Madden 2K Call of Duty kind of guy.
2K makes me so mad.
I'll play MLB The Show. I'll do a little bit of chill.
Little MLB The
Oh,
Show.
here we go. The Chiefs are picking Ohio State offensive lineman Josh Simmons.
Called it.
I haven't gotten some help there in a long time.
And with that.
And
with that, guys, that wraps up the 2025 JDF Sports NFL Draft Special. Shout out to Kearns and Tyrell for sticking through it. Thank you guys for still watching. Eos and Wesley Burton, you both are the GOAT. Thank you for everyone who commented and tuned in. Y'all are amazing. Appreciate all the support. Like we said, JDF Sports is back, so make sure you're locked in, following, like, subscribing, all that fun stuff. Thank you guys so much for the support. Probably we'll see Tyrell sometime in the near future. Maybe we get ready for fantasy football. Fantasy Egos teaser could be around.
Getting that for show. We should do a dynasty, a little dynasty.
We should do a little dynasty, Kearns.
After your first pick, of course.
Of course. Check out Kearns on YouTube. Yes, Rubai. Thank you for randomly putting the YouTube link there. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but thank you. That's our YouTube link, so make sure to check us out on YouTube. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the love and support, and we'll catch you guys soon. Kearns, are you streaming this weekend?
Maybe Saturday.
Maybe.
I can stream Saturday.
see. We'll let you guys know. But thank you guys so much for all the love, and thank you guys for supporting JDF Sports. On that note, we are all tired. It's been a long night. We've been live for a long time, but everyone have a fantastic night. We'll catch you guys soon.